this is like fun with other, running friends. So I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood.
You are my BRF.
What's happening, Eric?
There for your victory lap.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How did that happen?
How did you do that?
And all of a sudden I go to zip it up and I'm like, why is the zipper in the front right now? 0 out of 10 on the recommendation scale.
I am literally crying from laughter and from so much love. Oh my God.
It's like I see off for your cornhole.
And he just smashed Arnie like that and said, you stay out of this, Arnie. And I thought,
I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I am.
And there she was, a halo over her head.
No, it's not freaking true. Okay. And he steps to the side and just gestures. Here's the tinkle pot. I don't need to tinkle.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to episode 186 of the On the Runs podcast. Fall is here and the long runs are ramping up as Erika has a 100-miler this week just before her Chicago Marathon. That was smart. So many of our pod fam just crushed Berlin with Harry Styles. NASCAR was beautiful over the weekend, and we want to tell you all about our live recording at Marathon Sports last week. But before we do any of that, I must say hello to my kick-ass, rockstar of our co-host, 6-star Erika. What's up?
Oh, hey, man. Your intro was a little low energy today. Are you feeling okay? Are you maybe a little hungover from NASCAR weekend?
I don't think there was low energy at all. Sure, my voice might be a little raspy.
Maybe you weren't loud enough for my liking. I don't know.
Yeah. I did do a lot of yelling, but not yelling like yelling at the kids, but almost like, Tommy, no, Tyler, come back, Tommy, no. Because I was a parent for about 12 hours, maybe 5 kids, 1 adult.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a lot of children.
I know.
One time.
I know.
Did
But,
you get the boys? You
At
need to
NASCAR
get them
with 20,000, 60,000 people, by the way, on a Saturday. There.
You need to get the boys the little backpacks with the leash on the
I've
back.
thought about it. I saw someone at
Just do
NASCAR
it.
with that.
Just do it, man. Worth it.
My
So worth it.
grandmother did that with me, and my mom hated it.
Your kids are runners.
Oh my God,
They're
they are.
running in different directions. I think.
Yes.
I think you need them.
Can I tell you this story now that you mention it?
Please.
So you've never been to NASCAR. It's awesome because it's a whole weekend. It's a whole weekend. There's this fan zone. It's pretty epic. So Toyota always puts up a great, they have a great section of the fan zone. You can sit in all the cars.
Shout
They
out
have
Toyota.
So many
I got one
giveaways
now.
and things you can buy and all that.
Yeah.
So they have this guy, he's a DJ. He's up on top of this stage. It actually looks like a pit box, like a NASCAR pit box. And we're in the Toyota place having fun, all of us. Me and Ashley, me, Adeline, Tommy, and Tyler, just the 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy really wants to go to the Legos because next door is the NASCAR kids zone with the Legos.
Okay.
And he's like, I want to go back to the Legos. So Adeline's doing like 2 or 3 things in here that involves waiting in line. So I said, just wait in line, do it. And I'm going to be over. I didn't actually tell her, here's my mistake. I didn't say I'm going to Legos with Tommy and Tyler.
Yeah.
But it's right next to Toyota. There's just a trailer that blocks your view. But we were fine. This is actually on Friday at NASCAR. So it's much less crowded. You got to do fan zone on Friday. You get to do everything. There's small lines.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I hear this DJ going, "Where's Eric? Eric, where are you?" And then he starts talking to Adeline, and he goes, "So tell us a little bit about you. How old are you? 9 and all this." And then she goes, "Well, where's Dad? Is he a good dad? Where's Dad?" And she goes, "He's a good dad. He takes me camping and skiing and all that." I can hear this because I'm about 150 feet over at the Legos.
Uh-huh.
So I have to grab Tommy and Tyler, who don't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking with them, one in each hand, at their speed because of their little legs. And I hear him say, "How old are your brothers?" And she goes, 4. He goes, "Oh, they're twins?" She goes, "Yeah, I have twin brothers." And eventually I come within sight and he goes, "Is that him?" And 100 people are all looking and smiling because it's cute. Like, she's fine. And they see that I'm a dad with 2 other ones. And then at some other point, I'm waiting for Adeline to get to ride this simulator.
Yeah.
And Tommy keeps running towards the Legos. And the DJ sees it and he goes, "Oh, Eric, you're a good dad. He goes, "You're a good dad," but I'm yelling, "Tommy, no!"
Mhm.
And he's talking to me from like 100 feet away. Everybody can hear on a loudspeaker. I would be great at this job, by the way. And yeah.
Oh man,
So-
he called out your shit.
he goes to me sometimes. He goes, I have kids too, and they do the same thing. However, they're 16 and 18, and I still can't keep track of them.
Well, at least they can take care of themselves if they're by themselves. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like my voice, it's funny you mentioned it. Now it's getting a little raspy. We just had an amazing recording with a guest, and I thought my voice was great. I did think about it over the weekend. Like I might lose my voice from all that. Like Tommy, Tyler, no.
Honestly, I was
to-
just giving you some shit. You sounded fine, but it just didn't sound as like ear-splittingly loud as usual.
Well, people are downstairs. I need to be respectful.
Fair enough.
Typically,
Fair enough.
nobody's home. But
Fair enough.
cheer season is in full swing, and we always had Monday practice. Now we don't. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No longer
dang.
Monday. It was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So they made a change.
see.
So now
I
everybody's
see.
home, and I'm being respectful. But enough about me, more about you. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, not a smart move on my part that I made it. So I'm running 100-miler 2 weeks before Chicago, but that is my life. I am living with my consequences.
Did you see Alexis's face? So we need to talk about Alexis and people. We got to talk about the show, but
Yes.
this is the Saucony rep who is at the live show. And what's funny is she ran in college, and she was her event was the 100 yards or 100 meters. Right?
Yeah.
That was her event. She never ran more than 100 yards. And
Must be nice.
when you go, I'm training for a 200 or a 100 miler, she's like, and I saw it because she's sitting like right at my eye level. And I'm just like, oh my
Yep.
God, look at her reaction.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this year has been just I have big goals. I have a lot of bucket list races that I wanted to do. I want revenge on this Yeti because the first time I did it was fucking terrible, and I need another go at it. So that's what this Yeti was for. And Chicago is just my favorite. You guys know that.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna
I'm gonna do them. I
You're
really
just going to Chicago to have fun. You're going to see pod fans. So many people are
Exactly.
going to be there.
If I
You're gonna
do
get
well,
content.
whatever.
gonna-
If I don't, it's fine.
You're going to get content.
Yep.
Content.
Yep.
And it's going to be a blast. But let's not talk about that. We can talk about it later. We need
Sure.
to talk about the live show. We need
Oh
to
my
give
God.
everyone the scoop, the
I'm
behind
still
the scenes
buzzing
details.
over that.
What went right? What went wrong? What did Erika do? What did Erika not do? Right? So
Whatever
Let's
that is,
break-
it's going to be news to me.
let's break down the day.
Sure.
We get out of work and stuff. We're prepping and all that. But when did you arrive? You got there before me.
Yeah, I shot up right after work. I got there probably around 5:40 or so. So 20 minutes before even we were planning on setting up. The show started at 7. We were going to set up around 6 just to make sure we had plenty of time. That's why I made you that awesome playlist. And yeah, so I was just hanging around until it got closer. So I wasn't the only one standing around inside just being there.
Yeah, because you waited for somebody to show up so you could
Yeah.
walk in, not by yourself, right?
Thank you, Tara, who showed up right after, and we walked in together. And yeah, I mean, I was just blown away. There was already a bunch of people inside the store when we got there, and I was like, are these people here for the run club? Or are these just regular customers? Like, how many people actually work here? So I think there was maybe 4 or 5 people who worked at Marathon Sports there. There was my friend Jen. So hello, Jen. But then Zoe and Matt were there. And I don't know if I caught the other people's names who work there. But there was a lot of people for the run club. Steve was there,
Yeah.
of course. Steve set up the whole damn thing, and it was amazing. So thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
And
so
yeah.
a little background on that is Steve reached out to me.
A while. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe February or March. I know it was before the Boston Marathon.
So that
And
was
I
a
said,
long time coming for real.
Right. And I said, I love this. I want to do it. Let's wait till after Boston weeks. Let's do something before 4th of July. And then he was like, well, I would like to do something after his Ironman. I said, even better. Like, we don't have to rush this. I can practice.
Give us
Try
more time to
things.
prepare.
Right. And at this time, we didn't know we were going to do the NH10 miler. We didn't even know we were going to be recording at the Millennium store with John. But those were all things that we did to test for this to make this work right. So
Yes.
every little bit has contributed, and the time was great. So this really ramped up in July. We picked our guests. So I was approached again by Steve, and he says, here's what they're thinking or we're thinking for a guest. Do you have anyone in mind? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, we would love to have people we know and who have been on the and I was like, yeah, we would love to have people we know, and who else better than our own coaches? Are you cool instead of having one guest by having two and having four of us up there? And they said yes. So we reached out to KJ and Nicole, and I was like, I don't know if you two know each other, but we would love to do a podcast live in person with the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out they only really knew each other virtually through Instagram, but they're like, we adore each other. And they were an instant yes. I don't think they knew how big it might be, but they're an instant yes.
So question for you, was it your idea or was it Steve's to do the whole fall marathon training taper crazies thing? Okay.
Steve's.
So that's where it evolved from. I love it.
Right. And well, it could have been Marathon Sports and Steve.
Okay.
And then I was
but we knew we wanted to have KJ and Nicole regardless. Yeah. Okay.
They first talked about finding another coach or somebody, and I was like, we'd love to have our own. So I remember Nicole going after one of our meetings with everyone. She goes like, oh my God, this is like not just a little podcast. This is a big deal.
Oh yeah. Those podcast meetings that we had with Marathon Sports, those were legit.
Yeah.
You were
It was fun though.
Can I just tell everybody about how organized and like you are just a boss when it comes to those meetings. You knew exactly what to talk about. You knew how to structure these meetings. Like I'm just sitting there like twiddling my thumbs because I'm not a manager of any sort. So thank you. I can twiddle my thumbs. Mm-hmm. I'm very, very, very good at that.
Well, thank you. You know, passion. We'll just say it's led by passion.
Yes.
But we'll go back to we'll go back to the show. I showed up around 6 and you guys were all cheering. I did the whole classic loop behind me. Who are you cheering for? And I brought all the stuff and I set up. And so after I do like a review, I do a internal review, and then sometimes I share with you. I haven't shared with you yet, but you know, a couple observations was you just mentioned the Stoolie stickers, and you're like, make sure you bring all your Stoolie stickers. I'm going to give you an official job.
Sure.
You are our, I'm not going to call it merch, but our, you know how Saucony had the table there with their stuff all laid out?
Yes.
I'm going to get you a tablecloth. I'm going to get you a table. And your role is to always be setting up the other stuff that's not technical. So you set up the table, the display, the stickers, the layout, because you weren't twiddling your thumbs at Marathon Sports, but you were talking to too many people. And I was asking you, like, I need your stuff. Can you get me your stuff? Can you get me this? Can you get me that? Hopefully soon you won't have to bring your own microphone. We'll just have 4 that travel and everything, 4 cables, all that. But the tape, I think I asked you 3 times to tape the cords down, and then Zoe says to me, "Make sure you tape it." And I go, "Oh, we did, Erika, tape the cables to the floor." Oh, sorry, I'm talking to somebody.
So it's not entirely my fault. People were very talking to me, and I was very distracted. So okay, all right, something to work on.
But I think the table, so I brought the stickers. We never gave any out.
And I never took them back.
You never asked for them. You just told me the next day, you never gave me the stickers. I'm like,
I brought my buttons. I brought magnets. I had all my stuff too. And just overwhelming day. Didn't even think of it myself.
Well,
we had nerves going. You seemed fine.
You need a checklist when you show up. And so that's your thing. You set it up, you make it all pretty and everything. You'll have the beautiful On the Runs tablecloth. I'll make this happen. And it will go to everything. This is not just marathon. It'll be when we do live shows at races and stuff. You're going to be in charge of that. You're going to have all the stickers, all the magnets, the buttons.
I think I could do that
one day.
I can handle
if
that.
you really want shirts fitted for you, you got to take the lead on that. And that will be something you can have at your tables and be like, here are shirts. We're selling them. Maybe. So designed by yourself, because you can take credit for that.
But you have final approval.
So I have input. I'll give
Okay.
you final approval
Interesting.
if that motivates you a little bit.
We'll see.
So, no, like I think of these things, what could go right, what could go wrong. And like I made mistakes because I was a little overwhelmed. I forgot to hit play on the camera. So YouTube won't have the full thing. And then at some point, the camera stopped recording at the end. I don't know why it did that. And I haven't looked into it yet. But I think maybe the battery, which is a dummy battery, so the battery compartment doesn't close. So this battery has internal life. I just think maybe it somehow got loose or something, or someone.
Oh, it might have fallen out.
Right. Like just slightly that turned it off. So we need to figure a few of those things out. And I also want to start live streaming these on YouTube, which I know how to do. I need to practice it first, though. I wasn't going to, like, nothing new on race day. So
Yeah.
But once we got going, the show went off without a hitch. Do you think so?
I think it did. First off, I just have to give props to Zoe and Matt again over at Marathon Sports because they hooked us up with like basically a matching outfit. We all had matching Marathon Sports t-shirts and they gave us a pair of Sauconys and we all matched. So we were looking fresh up on that stage. Well, in the captain's chairs or the director's chairs. Yeah. And we looked like a team.
We did. It looked really good because those questions came up in the meeting, back to the meeting. Like, is KJ and Nicole, one of them said, what are we supposed to wear? You know, are we wearing athletic clothing? And all they said was, you know, let's not wear something. If you have a Marathon Sports shirt, wear it. Let's not wear something of another brand.
That's fair.
If you have Saucony shoes, you should wear Saucony shoes.
I'm over here like, I have none of that.
Yeah. But I thought,
like,
in your case, I was like, well, there's a Saucony demo. Shout out Alexis for doing the Saucony demo.
Yeah.
I just thought someone could throw on a pair of Sauconys from the demo.
Honestly, that's what I was expecting.
Right. But what happened? Tell me your vision of the story here because you were the first to realize. This is cool.
Funny.
We're not trying to rub it in. This has never happened before. And if it continues to happen, we won't talk about it that much. But this was a cool experience for us. We've never had this happen before. And all four of us were just like, for real?
Yeah. So I walk in, I introduce myself to Matt and Zoe, and she goes, oh, hang on, I got something for you. And she comes over, she gives me a shoebox. She's like, the t-shirts inside, those are yours to keep. And I go, what is? She's like, the t-shirt and the shoes. And I was like, I literally said to her, first meeting her 3 seconds ago, I said, are you shitting me? And she just starts laughing and she's like, yeah, those are for you. So I opened it and I was like, this is a legit brand new pair of shoes. And
they're not going to give you used shoes.
They could have for all I cared. I mean, I don't know any better.
Sure, I guess they could have given you a demo pair that were demoed. Sure.
That was honestly what I was expecting. Just like whatever shoes that Alexis had that the runners were trying on. But nope, this is a brand new pair of Saucony Triumphs. And they're comfortable as shit. And
I just put 17 miles on mine.
Did you? Very nice. Well, I was super professional in front of Zoe, so thank you for putting up with my crap.
Shit.
I literally said that. Like it just came out of my mouth. Word vomit.
Zoe was great. And you can tell like she has a very busy job, but she also takes the time to like really talk to you and get to know you too. And then she even found time to go on that run. She's like, I haven't run in 2 weeks. I need to run. I'll be back. But she hooked us up with the pizza, the stuff, Matt as well. Like they hooked us up. It was so great. And they listened to us when we talked to them in the meeting. I said, we really want to avoid having a messy display. So she, hooked us up with like this Marathon Sports banner that was set off to the side. But I was able to do everything behind the banner. So the recorder and all that stuff was there behind the banner. Yeah. And the cables were nicely eventually taped to the floor. Looked good. Not tangled and everything. And we were able to hide the messiness behind the banner that nobody saw. And it was great because then people I didn't, but others like yourself took pictures in front of the banner. It was awesome.
Yeah. It was everything. I felt so legit.
Yeah. And the response we got from KJ and Nicole was just like, that was amazing. And that's what we're going for. We really hope when you listen to it that you felt like you were there. But the four of us kind of felt like this is so cool. And I remember like KJ and Nicole being like, the adrenaline rush was just hot, so high.
We were all a little nervous to start. That was the vibe I got. And it, as far as I knew, it went away pretty quickly because you start talking about stuff you love. And it's just something that flows so naturally that it's hard to be nervous about something you're passionate about.
The butterflies went away really quick. The only question I had was, am I going to be like, on the Runs podcast? Because we decided on the fly to make it a full episode.
Yeah.
And, because we had an hour. Well, we had 45 minutes. We took an hour, though. And I was very cautious. So we actually started a few minutes late because we had to wait for the final customer to finish their purchase. And they were in there for over an hour because they were there when I walked in. But but shoes, you can't just pick any pair of shoes. You got to get the right one. So I don't blame him or her.
Oh, definitely.
So, so once the purchase was made, we got the thumbs up, the green light to start. And about right after I did my whole on the Ron's podcast thing, I had no more nerves. A lot of the things that crossed my mind, though, was time and making sure we stick to the plan, not go off the tracks, because you are famous for having show notes in front of you and never looking at them. So I tried very hard to kind of like lead the show there and move us along.
I was glancing at them, but I kept seeing you because the way we were positioned, I was looking more at you. KJ and Nicole were a little bit more to my left. So I was just like in that direction looking at you.
Yeah, we were on the outsides. They were in the middle.
Yeah. And I kept seeing you glance at your watch, so I would glance at my watch, but I'm like, I have no idea what time we started. Like, so it really didn't help me at all.
I was just looking to make sure we're done by 8, or maybe it was like quarter of for the questions or something.
Yeah, but I was like, we're getting real close, and then I was like, how long have we been doing this?
But I also kept looking behind me to see like how long have we? Because I had that. Behind me on the recorder
see. Okay,
to know like, I think we went maybe 8 minutes over on the projected. Like, I think we had 35 minutes we wanted to do before Q&A.
Gotcha.
So I think we went like 42 minutes. But
sticking to a time constraint is never my strong suit. So I need you to reel it in.
And I have no problem taking the lead in those situations.
Good.
Like, I think you need to, we can't be like, Erika, do you want to ask the next question? Like, no, I have no problem.
It kind of gets rid of the illusion there.
Yeah.
that I know what I'm doing.
Sometimes when we have a guest recording, if I feel like I'm asking all the questions, I'll be like, hold on, Erika.
He'll give me like a subtle little point in the screen.
Well,
like,
but sometimes I'll be like, hey, do you want to ask the next question? And she goes, oh, where are we in the show notes? And I'll be like, just ask them this.
Sometimes it's planted.
So tell me about.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'm good at my job, my not real job.
You're great. You're great. It's how we work though. And it works. It's how we work. There's no problem with that at all. That's not me giving you a hard time like saying, tape the cables to the floor.
Distractions. But oh man, we had such a great turnout for this event. Like you said, there was something like you mentioned 30 people ish.
Well,
I couldn't even count.
Officially, there was 20 people who signed up.
Oh, great.
Because remember, there was the event page.
Yes.
And nobody, like they talked about, they might pay for a boost or do some ads. Nobody did that. So these 20 people were all
still a great turnout.
Fans of the pod or fans of KJ and Nicole.
Or fans of running. Yes. Came for the run club.
True. Some people stayed and Steve told me he wasn't sure if the run club people would stay. And he said every one of them stayed.
That's
and I
so cool.
wish if I could change one thing. Now I also had to get back because I had a babysitter at the house. I wish I could have talked to everybody and gotten to introduce, say hi to everyone and thank you. We did get the group photo. My main goal was to have that happen right away. But there's people from the run group I don't think I ever talked to or got to really say hi to because, again, my mind was going. But, one thing I do like to do on this podcast, though, is give you shit. But I need to tell you, you knocked it out of the park with that playlist.
Oh, I'm very happy you liked it. I had to get that one song that gave me what you were looking for, and then it all kind of fell into place. And I know you had a couple of suggestions, which I was okay with. So I made your substitutions. I put things where he wanted them to be, and bam.
Well, you know what's
I'm glad
cool
it
is when you
worked.
listen on like Smart Shuffle, it plays other songs, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I added like one or two, the two songs. I ended up throwing a third in there, but it's that third I want to be a placement for every time we do this. So
Okay.
right before we actually sit down and start, "Oh Yeah" by Yellow.
That is your
Plays.
song that is
Yes.
on our Spotify playlist anyways. The
Oh,
On the
yeah.
Runs playlist,
Boom,
that's
boom.
one that I put on for you.
It's great. And it worked out perfect from the point we hit play to the
Mhm.
point that song played. It was time for us to go to record.
Yep.
And then at the end, all they do is I hit the next song and we let it play out for the next 20 minutes. And I kind of remember looking at you and going, "Oh my God, Erika, this is timed perfectly. Right when I'm about to take this stuff apart, the song's playing."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. Perfect.
It was great.
timing.
You
Totally
did great.
did that on purpose.
Everybody did great. I think we need to shout out some people, right? So, of course, we already shouted out multiple times, I think, Matt and Zoe.
Oh,
Marathon
definitely.
Sports, Alexis from Saucony for hooking us up and doing the demo. She's super cool, like a wicked fast sprinter, and maybe one day she'll do a 100-miler. We'll see.
Baby steps, man. Get her to
yeah.
do a 200.
200s.
Maybe a 400.
She was super cool, though, and it's like, what a cool job she has. We need to shout out Tara Pterodactyl
Of
and
course.
and Lindsay
Yep.
since day one. Since
Always
day one
being
of
there
me-
for us. Yep.
Right. And they were there for us. Tara stayed up past her bedtime.
You know it's
Jay
important when
Parent.
she stays up late.
Yeah, it is. Jay Parent, this guy has been supporting us since day one, since before day one. And he wasn't, dude, the guy's ripped. He's so in shape. He's this most incredible CrossFit athlete. And that's when I looked my best, when I worked out with him all the time. I told him I'm doing this. He's been a supporter ever since day one. Like, and I don't think he was, like, he takes running a lot more seriously now. He's one really fast. The whole Reach the Beach thing is his vibe. He loves it. And he loves the competitiveness of your team. I was not expecting him to show up, but I remember watching him walk in. And I don't know if he signed up on the Eventbrite. I didn't have access to that. But that one surprised me. And I was so happy to see him.
I didn't know he was coming either.
Yeah. So, Jay, thank you so much for coming. That was so cool.
Penguin
and
love.
he sat right up front. He sat right up front.
He's your emotional support friend.
My emotional support. He's my thunder buddy. My thunder buddy.
for life. Oh,
Now,
man.
somebody else showed up. And we're definitely going to miss some people here when we talk about them. But somebody showed up that I knew was coming, or at least I thought was coming. You had no clue.
I did a slow motion run to go give him a hug. It was literally in slow motion. Our good buddy, Marathon Panda Maurice, Mo. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to see you. He came up from Rhode Island.
You know what he gets for
random
coming up from
Thursday
Rhode
night.
Island? One of these.
You're damn right he does. I was so blown away. I was like, you came all the way up just for this? Like, not that it's not an important thing, but that's like 2 hours. Plus in rush hour traffic, like, I'd be hard pressed to do that myself.
And
but
then he drives home.
we love
2
you so
hours
much.
at night.
I know. So we are super thankful that he did that. And he's also a Marathon Sports ambassador, along with Silvana Morgan, who showed up, who is just super awesome. She always
Yes.
shows up to our events too. And God, I love them all.
Yeah.
And
it
you
was
can't
fantastic.
forget Jess, who is
Oh,
she
yeah.
is the manager at Ted Sports over in Keene.
Which
She's
we didn't know.
KJ's
You know-
best friend.
You know what's cool is
Jess
I
is
go to
awesome.
KJ at the end. I go, she's like, I want to do this again. I want to do it again. I go, let's do it at Ted's. I did not know when I said that was Jess was the manager.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
No. And KJ looks at Jess and goes, let's do it. She's the manager. I go, seriously? That's so cool. Let's do it.
But
Let's do
she's
another one.
she's a
Let's
big
do more.
supporter of KJ, who's a big supporter of us. So
Yeah.
just feeling the love. And
God, it
then
was
who
so
are we
cool.
missing? I feel like those were the big key players of the night.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned
And Steve
Sil.
again. Yay, Steve.
Yeah. I'm super pumped the way this came out. I really think, I really hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I really think Marathon Sports enjoyed doing this.
We did.
They had no clue who we were when Steve mentioned it to them, and they said yes. So thank you. That's so amazing. I really hope we get to do more. We can travel New England because there's 28 marathon sports locations. I will absolutely go out to Providence and do this for Mo if Mo wants to do it because
Hell yeah.
Mo's the man.
I'd do
Thank you
anything for that
coming.
guy.
Like that guy came so far, I'll go out.
Even
there for
drive
him.
on a Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, that was great.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for listening to us talk about it for over 30 minutes here. And sorry to Charlotte for dragging out her episode because we have an amazing guest today. She's so cool. Erika, do the honors.
Once you guys hear this episode, you will see how excited I was to finally get Charlotte for her own episode. So Charlotte is one of my friends that I got to meet at my very first Yeti race. And as you're listening to this, I'm hanging out with her right now because we're all staying at a house in Virginia. So getting ready to do Yeti round 2. So I really hope you guys enjoy this episode that we have with Charlotte. She is the Marathon Costume Chic. She's always just representing the races and doing it in style. So you guys are going to have a blast listening to this one.
Our next guest on the pod is one badass ultra running chick. She has run over 300 races that are marathon distance or longer, and it was at Erika's first 100 miler when she was in her absolute worst when these two met and became ultra best friends. She's a happy, lucky girl from the South, and we're wicked excited to finally have her on the podcast for not the first, but the second time, and she's single and ready to mingle, all you men ultra runners. Charlotte Corriher, a.k.a. the Marathon Costume Chic. Welcome back to the On the Runs podcast. What's up?
Thanks so much, Eric and Erika. Ooh, sound effects. Wow.
That was one hell of an intro. I'm so happy you're here, Charlotte. My favorite Yeti. Just don't tell the others, but we're so happy to have you back. It's been a while too. We last recorded, I had to look it up. It was episode 129 where we recapped the quote unquote, I don't even think it was the official Wetty Yeti. There was another one, wasn't there? But
yeah, there was another Wetty Yeti.
Yeah, this was the Hurricane Yeti. So welcome back. It's been an entire year. How have you been?
I know. Oh, I'm doing great. Doing really great.
So we know from Eric's intro that you have done 300 plus marathons and ultras.
Yes.
And I just cannot wait to dig into some of these. And I know a big number of those are Yeti races. So
yes.
With Yeti coming up this month, can you believe it? It's only like
I'm so excited.
2 weeks
Yes.
away.
Yes.
Another Yeti. How did you first discover the Yeti Trail Runners?
Wow, you just want to dive right in, Erika.
I do.
You're not like
don't be shy.
You're not like where are you from, by the way? Are you from the West or the Northwest? Where are you from?
I need to know how.
I can't tell from
I
your
missed
accent.
out on so much.
Yeah. Do y'all think I sound like I'm from up north like y'all?
No, we're the Yankees.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to hear about it yet because I actually wasn't here for the Wetty Yeti episode. I didn't get to meet you, Charlotte. So this is my first time, even though you're a podcast pro, as Erika wanted to say. But I wasn't
totally
there for that.
forgot about
remember?
this. Because you jumped in for 5 minutes and then that was it. I don't drive these episodes very often. So that's why I'm like, let's do whatever I want. This is my show.
I actually think I opened the episode and then I said, I got to go. See you later. Have fun.
He left us to our giggles and our funny stories about the creepy basement.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. What a story. We've heard about that basement a few times and apparently there's multiple in the area. But first, actually, Charlotte, I want to know, who the heck are you? You're down from the South. I used to live in North Carolina. I love it down there. I love the accents, and I got some stories about it for you later. But give me a little bit of who Charlotte is before we dive straight into Yetis.
All right. Yeah. So, born and raised in North Carolina. I still live in North Carolina. I lived in the Florida Keys and also lived in Charleston, South Carolina. But didn't start running, never an athlete growing up, did a little bit of ice skating, a little bit of cheerleading, but didn't start running. One time was, I think in college on spring break, we were going to Daytona. I'm like, oh, I better run real quick and get skinny so I look good in my bikini. So didn't start running until I think I was like 35 or 36, that somewhat.
So you're a new runner.
Oh, yes. Well,
but
years. That's 20 years now. Last year, I celebrated 20 years of running.
That's incredible.
Congratulations.
So that just blabbed on my age there.
You're 29.
Exactly. No, I'm 36. Come on.
36.
Happy to be 36. Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't start running until, later in life and, just kind of took advantage of the community that I live in. There's a great little place to run right across the street from where I live. It's called The Loop. And just kind of, as soon as you start running, people are, talking to you. Oh, well, let's do this 5K. Let's do this 10K. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I'll do that. And then started running a little bit longer, did a couple half marathons, and then I started training for my first marathon was Disney 2006. And I used the team and training program. And I just, it wasn't as much the running that I got addicted to as the community.
I was going to ask, what was the pull?
I'm sorry, the what? Oh, yeah, it was the people. I mean, even to this day, I'm still friends with a lot of my team and training buddies. We may not run together, but we hang out and, we keep in touch. So it was more the community and the friendships that I made through running that kind of kept me in that game. So, when somebody was talking about running and they're like, oh, when are you going to run your first marathon? I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Never. Not going to happen.
It's kind of fun to know that you did start at the beginning. Like you didn't just jump into those big races, even though you've done so many at this point. But everybody starts somewhere. And I'm so happy that Disney was one of your first races. That's super fun. Is that where the is that race that particular one when you guys started the what is it, the DDS, the Disney drinking system?
Disney Day Drinkers. Yes.
I knew it was something like that.
That came about much later. So just to brag about my group there, because a lot of them just did the Disneyland half marathon weekend.
Awesome.
So a good friend of mine started a group on Facebook, more of a social club, but it's called Disney Day Drinkers. And it's all about going to Disney World. And it's not about drinking around the world and getting sloshed. We're not the people that are getting pulled off of trying to climb the Mexico Pyramid. We're not the people splashing in the water. It's a small world, but it's more about just going to, because there's so many, not just in the parks, but in the resorts, in that whole area, there's just so many great restaurants and bars. So it's about getting to know the bartenders, getting to know, if you like old fashioned, where do I go for the best old fashioned? And so when that group started, they reached out to me because I said, okay, we know you're a runner. And we have started the Disney Day Drinkers running team because the reason most people go to Disney is for the races. Mm-hmm. So I've been involved with that for several years now. And so we have get-togethers at the Disney races. We have like traveling races. So a couple times a year, or once a year, we'll go to a different race and just kind of meet up there. So my Disney kind of obsession started a while back. But that group just really regenerated it. So find us on Facebook, Disney Day Drinkers Running Team.
You got me in there. There we go.
Yes.
Nice. That's so cool. What was it just the Disney Marathon? Like, were they doing dopies then? Was running at Disney such a big thing in 2006, or is that just grown over time?
Well, here's the thing is because I registered through Team and Training. And I did it a couple years later. I did 2008. So when I did it 2006, I think it was one of the first years of the Goofy Challenge. Mm. So I was just so annoyed at the end of the race. All those people, I'd just done the marathon and all those people with the clang, 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 all these extra medals. I'm like, God, that's annoying. And so then 2 years later, I actually did the Goofy. And it was after I'd kind of not been doing the Disney races for a while that they started the Dopey. And I actually did Dopey this year. And it's, it's not about the mile, just it's that 2 a.m. wake up for so many days in a row. It just wipes you out mentally.
What time do you go to bed for that? Because I probably wouldn't get to bed till 12.
Yeah, I'm usually about 10 o'clock. If I go to bed any sooner, then I'm going to wake up at 10 or 11 and not be able to get back to sleep. So usually it's about 10 o'clock. I'll try to, go to sleep then. But you can always after the race, because the races are so early, you can always go back to your room and sleep a little bit before you hit the parks.
I want to do it one day. I really do. But I got some time. That 2 a.m. wake up call. It's like, I might need some VIP.
It's tough.
So I can just slide right in there.
It is tough to wake up that early, but it's a lot of fun, and I think it's worth it to try at least once.
I don't think the being awake early is hard when you're at the start finish line, right? Mm. I just think it's getting up out of bed and dressed and out the door. That's the hard part.
Right. Yes.
So I
But
just
then you
need
have to
be
sit
there with
around
you.
and wait for forever. I mean, you have to get there so early. You have to sit around and
Why?
wait. Yeah.
Why?
Just because there's so many people going
How
in
many
and
people?
gosh, I don't know. I
Like
have
for the
no
5K,
idea.
is it the same amount of people as the marathon a few days later, or is it more?
I wish I knew the numbers, Eric. I don't.
I need
I'm
Disney
sorry.
experts.
Thousands.
It's
There's at
a
least
lot.
thousands.
I need
Yes.
the
Oh,
Will
several
Run For It
thousand, tens of
podcast to come in
thousands.
with the stats.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you? So you're still active in that community? You still go? You went as recently as this year?
Yes. Yeah, I did Dopey earlier this year. I'm going back the end of next month and doing Wine and Dine. I think I'm doing Goofy again in January because that'll be the 20th anniversary of my first marathon. So I wanted to be there at Disney World for that.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're
So
going to get
special.
into the whole costume thing later and how that developed, but I want to know, like, what do you dress up as for a Disney race?
Here's the funny thing is I am so out of the Disney universe, so removed because I don't have kids. And so, I know Pooh and Tigger, I know Mickey Minnie, I know Jungle Book. And so I'll go to a race and people do very elaborate costumes. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know who you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I see that.
Yeah, and Disney has kind of really cracked down on the rules as far as what you can wear for a costume because people were getting out of hand. And
Especially with the face, right? Like they say you can't have anything that covers up your face.
yeah, you can't have anything covering your face. So it's for me, I just keep it OG. I keep it, of course, every race has a theme, they have themed characters, so I try to do that. And I just try to keep it simple, but I do a lot of sequence. And so when I did Dopey, I did all the characters. I did, let's see, what was it? Pluto, Chip and Dale, Donald, and Mickey. No, Dopey. I actually did Dopey, but everything was in sequence. So
I
basically
remember
had
that.
to,
It was so sparkly. I loved it.
Sparkly Dopey.
God, there's
Even Dopey, when I went up to get my picture with him afterwards, he's like,
that's cool.
You did it right when Dopey.
oh yeah, Dopey approved.
Have you ever repeated a character, or do you try to always do something different?
For the Disney races so far, just keeping it new. Just because since they change the theme every year and change the characters, I'll try to keep it new. But at other races, I definitely repeat costumes because it gets expensive.
So I'm looking at a list right now of Disney characters. I'm going to throw a few out there for you that I think you should try. All right?
Okay.
Thumper.
Oh, that would be good.
Cute.
And I think
like
that
Thumper.
would be easy, right? Thumper would be
Yes,
cute and
yes.
easy. You could also go like Simba, or you could be Nala. You could be like
Okay,
you
yeah.
could get a couple other friends to go as all the lions from The Lion King. What would be a little more on the difficult scale here, but you could do something from Cars. You could be Lightning McQueen, or you could be Lightning McQueen's girlfriend. You could have someone go as Tater. That's his name, right? That'd be super
Mater.
cool.
Again, yeah.
Mater.
Toad
Yeah.
Mater.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So and then if you really want to challenge yourself, like you could be Jack Sparrow. I know there's a running Jack Sparrow.
There
so I don't
is,
know if you
yeah,
wanna
jogging
talk
Jack
yet.
Sparrow.
We've actually
yes.
tried to get him on the podcast, but he doesn't,
doesn't
do
want it.
podcast. He did respond. He was very nice about it. You could do Tigger and hop the whole time, bounce, 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 right? There's some cool options.
Yeah.
Do you wanna hear-
I've got a couple props right here I'm working on for I got my Olaf right here that I'm starting to work
That's
on.
great.
Do you want to
That's
hear
so
the
good.
the best costume I saw during the Dopey that I did? I think it was just during the 5K, which is probably the best idea for this. But I saw there was a whole group of people who dressed up as the monorail. And they were all like connected together. And I was
Yeah.
like, you guys are great.
And that's one of the rules that they put in place.
Oh,
that
really?
and there was another group that did the Slinky Dog.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that's
so yeah,
cool.
you cannot be connected to other people.
Well,
Bummer.
you know what?
That was 2017 when I last saw it. So it makes sense. I know.
You mentioned you're not the crazy girl who's in the water for It's a Small World or the other thing. If I were to ever be that crazy guy, it's the one thing I would do that I don't think anyone has done. I'd want to climb up to the top of Magic Kingdom, Cinderella's castle, and zip line down the zip line that Tinkerbell zip lines down for the fireworks. That's
You know,
what I would
she's
do.
small, but I think she could kick your ass. You come up there and try to take over. Oh no, I think she's got you there, Eric.
Well,
I would pay to see that fight.
I would want to be like, you got to go out legendary. You can't be the crazy
True.
girl swimming in It's a Small World. You got to
Yeah.
be legendary during a fireworks show or something. Mr.
would be epic.
Tinkerbell, I would be. I don't want to do that. I love Disney World. I don't go enough, and I want to go more. So I think that's so cool you do it. And I would love to join you there one day.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. I'll design your costume.
We'll have to think of a theme. Oh my God, this could be great. This could
You
be
just
really
made his
good.
night. He
Oh, yeah.
doesn't even know what for you. He's like, ooh.
We could be the goofy movie.
guys
We
are
could do
flowing.
like
Here
a
we go.
goofy movie. I could be Max and you could be Roxanne.
Powerline.
See, again, I don't know any of this
That's
stuff.
right.
I'm so old. I don't know this
Charlotte,
stuff. I gotta
I
watch
will
it all.
educate you when I see you in a couple of weeks.
Okay,
That
thank you, please.
a Goofy movie is my favorite of the.
I think
the
I've heard
Disney
you talk
movies.
about that before. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. So we'll work on this.
So, all right, now that we got our inner child out of the way, we're going to graduate, move on from Disney. We can come back later and talk resorts, where to
Yes.
stay, all that kind of stuff. I could talk Disney for hours. But I want to know a little bit more about this 300 plus marathons and ultra marathons. And I actually want to know, outside of the Disney one, what was your first and how did it go?
So my first 5K was a local race. We had it at the Battleship, North Carolina. And I didn't know anything about races and things like that. So I actually won. They have a half marathon too, which is really popular. And I actually won my age group, but didn't
Not a
realize
big
it because I didn't know. I didn't know. What do you mean? I'm like, I didn't go up for awards because I didn't think I would have won anything. So I still have that trophy today. It's kind of in bad
Oh.
shape after a couple of moves. But
Still means a lot.
oh yeah. And then I have the proud distinction of when I moved up to 10Ks, I did the last Cooper River Bridge run on the old bridge and the first Cooper River Bridge run on the new bridge.
That's
In
New
Charleston.
Jersey.
No,
Oh, wait, Cooper River.
Charleston. Cooper
Wait.
River in Charleston. Yes.
Okay.
I remember
So we
hearing
have a
about that from
friend-
Dawn.
Yeah, that's right. I'm getting New Jersey. What's the one in New Jersey called Loopy Looper? What's that river?
Cooper River Park. You were
In
close.
your Cooper River Bridge. Okay.
Yes.
See, I'm not that stupid. But
No, we were talking about a lot about that.
but
so that
also
makes sense.
Dawn from my race tats is from Charleston. That's a huge race.
Oh yeah, Don. Yeah. It
you
is.
know Dawn?
Well, I know of him. We haven't officially met, but yes,
Okay.
I know of him. Yes.
He's from there, and he has
Yes,
like
he's from
a
Charleston.
tent and a booth at that race. He
Mhm.
talks about it. It's like the largest 10K in the country.
Second largest, I think. Peachtree. Peachtree is bigger.
Might be Boulder.
Oh, but Boulder, is that a 10K or a 10 miler?
10K.
They have a 10K.
10K. Okay.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
gonna
have
put
to
you all in the
fact
top
check
3.
this.
You're all
Yeah.
Okay.
top
Yeah.
three.
Yeah. And it depends on who's celebrating an anniversary year.
Right.
Then the numbers go up. Yeah.
Oh,
True.
that's so true. Hey, we might be number 3, but we got an anniversary coming up next year. We're gonna be number 1. Back on top, baby.
Yeah. So then, like I said, Disney was my first marathon, and I really kind of scaled back from doing shorter races at that point. And everybody's like, "Oh, were you too good to do a 5K?" I'm like, "No, that's price per mile. Look at that." And I'm like, "Why am I going to pay, $40 for a 5K when I can get a marathon for 80?" Look at price per mile.
Right. And a bigger
I feel
medal
the
usually.
same way now.
Yeah.
Especially if I have to travel somewhere for a race. I'm like, I'm not going to
Oh, yeah.
travel for anything less than a marathon.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't want to
I'm
sound
the
all
same way.
hoity-toity, but I mean, it
absolutely
makes
agree with you
it
there.
makes financial sense.
And plus, since I've gotten into more ultras, my pace has definitely slowed down. And I'm like, you go to a 5K and those people are hauling ass. I'm like, shit, I'm just getting going. You're done. Like, no.
Which is why I like the ultra world better, because there's less
Yes.
stress and you get to have more fun because you're out there for longer
Exactly.
and just get to enjoy the environment. So no need to go balls to the wall.
Yeah. And I still do a couple road marathons every year. I usually do, of course, Wilmington Marathon, which is my hometown marathon. I've done it 15 years in a row. I've got a streak there.
Amazing.
And then the Kiowa Island Marathon, which is outside of Charleston, I am the sweeper there. So I've been the sweeper, I think, about 6 or 7 years now, which
That's
is
kind of a cool thing.
yeah, it's a great race. There's a lot, especially when you're the sweeper, there's not a lot going on towards the end, and they will allow, they have a set time limit, but they will allow anybody to finish. And so I get to like follow the last person, keep the radio. So I hear all the chatter about who they're picking up, who's quitting, who's injured. And so like one time I was, you listen to the radio and they're like following the leaders of the half marathon and the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, male half marathon finishing now. And then it's, they go through all the where they are. And I think the first or second year I did it, then they go, the female marathoner coming around the corner. And then they call me, they're like, Charlotte, this is Liz. Yes, Liz. Where are you at? I'm at mile 8. It's going to be a while.
Oh, boy.
So wait, as a sweeper, do you just have to stay with the person in last place?
Yes. I mean, different races have different definitions for what the sweeper's supposed to do. And so when I started doing this, I was like, let's be clear. What is my role?
Right.
Because a lot of times it's you keep the pace and I pace a lot of races too. You keep the pace of the time limit. And if somebody is falling behind, you need to say, you need to get in front of me or you may be swept.
That's what I thought a sweeper was.
Yes.
You can't get swept. And I was going to ask, like, what do you say to them? Are you just like, you need to get in front of me right now? Or are you motivating, encouraging, trying to get them to finish?
Well, with this race, like I said, they will allow anybody to finish. So as long as they're progressing and they're not injured and not hurting themselves, then they'll allow them to continue. They'll pull the volunteers of the aid stations at the time limit, but they'll have, the tables will still be set up, the water will still be out there. And we have police escorts, which get annoying sometimes. It's like, dude, just back off. There's like one guy who was like a motorcycle cop and he was right in front of me and he'd like gun it and like go up 100 yards and then stop.
Oh,
and I catch up with him and then he'd gun it again. I'm like, and I finally tell somebody, I'm like, can you tell him that I'm having to run slower or we're having to go because we can't run because of his exhaust. So like, just tell him to go on. I'm like, we got this,
He's not
We're
a runner.
fine, dude.
Yeah, I got this.
Maybe strategically, he's like, I get paid by the hour, and I'm going to slow these two down and make some more money.
I know how much they make doing like police details and
Extra
stuff, and
stuff,
it's a lot of money. So I can guess why he'd be like, oh, I'm just going to poke around. Why not?
If
Earn
I
that
can
money.
slow her marathon down to 12 hours, that's a $1,200 day.
And the bad thing is that Kiowa always has an amazing, because Kiowa Island is a private island. It's a resort outside of Charleston. And you can't go on there just to have a day at the beach. It's a private island, so you can only go on for the race. So a lot of people, really take the time and enjoy the day. And they have an amazing after party with lots of beer, great food, but it's all gone by the time I get there.
Oh, no.
And mine and Erica's buddy, Brian Spink, was running the other. He's like, I got to finish. I saved you beer. I got you lots of beer saved. I'm like, thank you.
Yes, Brian, to the rescue. I was going to say, just like keep a cooler in your car and be like, all right, after party's this way. Follow me.
So over 300 marathons and ultras. Let's stick with marathons and road races now. What are some of your favorites and what is your least favorite?
Favorites, I'd say the top couple ones, Big Sur, just beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
Did you
it is
do
a little
the
bit
Boston to Big Sur double?
No, I'm too slow for Boston. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Eric. Just Big Sur. It's just beautiful and it is challenging. There are some hills, but it's just so pretty. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous out there. And that's the first time I spent.
Point.
Oh,
That
yes.
was a bitch.
Yes. And if you don't know the story, I would look this up if you ever run the race. Of course, you know about the grand piano player that sits like when you get up to Hurricane Point, you can start to hear the piano. And when you go back down and cross over the Bixby Bridge, there's a grand piano and there's a gentleman playing there. So his name is Michael Martinez. And I dressed as the piano for that race. My mom made a skirt that was like the piano keys,
cute.
pleated skirt. And so I got to talking with him at the expo, and it's just a great story about how he got that gig. He was actually the protege of the previous person who had been playing that gig for years. And I may be getting it wrong, but if I'm correct, I think the other gentleman was blind. And he was trying to pass the torch. Michael was his protege and just pass the torch down. And I mean, he's an amazing pianist. I mean, I bought his CD, and it's just one of those Zen kind of classical piano. He plays like modern songs, So that was just to find out that little aspect of the race just made it much more fun.
That's
I'm
incredible.
looking at photos. It looks like so many runners always stop to take pictures.
Oh yeah,
and
it is. It's iconic. Iconic, yeah. Or he'll turn around and smile. Yeah.
He plays in anything too. Any weather. If you're running in it, he's playing in it. It could be
so
like.
Is he hired by the race, or has just somebody done this and he took it on when he needed to?
Well, he's definitely hired by the race because they have to like truck this grand piano out to the middle of nowhere. So yeah,
and he's wearing
it's all coordinated. Yes, always wearing a tuxedo.
Oh man, I do know. I see pictures. I've seen the videos, but it's kind of cool. You know what? Let's get him on the podcast.
Oh, you should. Yeah. I'm sure he would love to talk about it.
Oh, that is cool. So what do they do? Well, I'll have to ask him when he's on the podcast. Like when it's raining, do you cover the piano? Like all that stuff? This is cool.
I don't know. I had great weather, thank goodness. So
I've done it twice and I did not have the best weather, and he's still out there in the rain. Like it did rain a little bit. So he was out there playing. I don't think he had anything like covering it, but he must have, because it's like hooked up to an amp and stuff. So
yeah, they have the speakers with, like I said, when you get to the top of Hurricane Point, you can hear they have the speakers point up there, and it is like a tearjerker moment. You're like, you've gone 2 miles up this hill, and you've got this beautiful, view of the coast. You can see down to the Bixby Bridge, which is iconic. You see that in a lot of videos and things like that. And you start hearing that music, and I was just like bawling. I'm like, oh my God, this is just like amazing.
I'll put it on my bucket list. Where is Big Sur? Is that Northern California?
No, it's
middle-ish.
Yeah, it's south of San Fran. So because I know when I went,
my brother lives in San Fran.
Yeah, so I flew in there.
Like, could I
2 hours?
Yeah, it's not that far. Yeah,
so I could get away with not buying a hotel and staying with my brother, playing a vacation. No,
you might have to do one night in Monterey just. Because they bus you.
That is
they bus you down to the start. Yeah, they bus you to the start.
I don't
because it's point to point.
Well, actually, you know what? You're right. That 2 a.m. wake up call is gross.
You could fly into, what is it? It's Monterey. Like what's right next to Monterey? What airport is that? San Jose.
Right.
San Jose, I think, is close.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, San Jose. San Francisco, it's all the same neighborhood, but it's bigger than the state of Rhode Island.
Yes, it is.
Well, hey, maybe we could live podcast from Hurricane Point. What a cool name.
You would get straight up wind into the microphone. But all right, Charlotte, we covered your favorite marathons. What about your least favorite marathons?
Oddly enough,
not to throw shade anywhere, but
say Chicago.
No,
I've never run Chicago actually. So I was supposed to, but my friend that I used to run with, she broke her foot like 2 weeks out, and I just didn't feel going without her, so I gave up my spot. Oddly enough, the one that was probably one of my least favorites, the one that's named after me, the Charlotte Marathon. I mean, how could you not love a race named after you? So I'd say Charlotte, which is I've done it twice. Charlotte and Atlanta are very similar. It's, you start off in the downtown area, kind of the hot spot. But then there's the warehouse district, and then there's the fancy mansions, and there's lots of hills. And I'll never forget the first time I ran Charlotte. I'm running up this hill, and some guy says, this is the last hill. I'm like, if this is not, I'm going to come back and slap you. And of course, it wasn't the last hill. But
did you go back and smack him?
I wish I could have, because I knew he was lying.
I'm gonna run an extra 8 miles just to smack this guy for lying to me. That's what you get.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the course map because I used to live in Charlotte. It's
that's
up,
right.
down, left, right, all these weird things. Yeah,
down, up, down, up.
I get how
select
I wouldn't
power.
Like it.
AB.
A lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot
it
going
can't
on there.
be a simple course. It has to be confusing.
Exactly.
That's fun. All right, can we get into some of the costumes now?
Sure.
So, at what point, how many marathons in did you start breaking out these costumes? And I have to know, how much effort you put into these, because they're so amazing and so much thought goes into them. So I just want to know how it all started, and yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah. So oddly enough, it wasn't Disney. And when I ran Disney, there were not a lot of costumes going on. Even the second time I ran it in 2008, we did something kind of simple, but not a lot of costumes. And so my first costume marathon was 2007, the Shamrock Marathon in Virginia Beach.
Oh.
And I had a really good running buddy at the time. And when we were running this, she's like, oh, let's get green shirts. I'm like, cool. Yeah. So we got green shirts. And then I forgot how it progressed, but my mom made us these little skirts and they had black material with shamrocks on it. She made like little goo pockets for us and everything.
Oh, awesome.
And then went to Party City and got the little hat, little leprechaun hat. And then probably what was the simplest thing, but has turned out to be, kind of what I'm known for was the booties, the shoe covers. So my mom makes these shoe covers. And for that one, and I didn't even think about this. I mean, she just came up with this idea on her own. And it was basically green sparkly material, but it had the curly toe like a little leprechaun.
Cute.
And it just kind of goes over the shoe. It's got Velcro to connect it in the back and elastic underneath to hold it down on the shoe. And that just became, it's like that. It was that head to toe kind of look, because you can have a costume, but then when you've got, running shoes on, it just kind of breaks up that image.
It does.
And so after that, like you got to have the booties on every costume. So that was the first one. And that was where we were coming down the elevator. It was kind of a cold day because it was in March in Virginia Beach. And coming down the elevator and somebody made a comment about our outfits. And my friend goes, if you can't be fast, be festive. So kind of stolen that tagline now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And the only other one that I haven't been in costume since then was I was on the way to a race. And I remember it was April 2013. And the friend that I was riding with, he had been in Boston that day. And so when we were driving together or meeting up on the interstate and riding up to Pennsylvania to do the Gettysburg North-South Marathon, he's like, do you mind if we go a day early? And there's this marathon in Delaware. And, just my mind's just really, I just need to run. I need to run this situation off. I'm like, yeah, sure. So it's like, well, I'll just, volunteer for the race. And of course, you go out to dinner the night before with everybody and they're like, oh, no, you're running. And it was a small race. It was Delaware. I think it was Delaware Trail Marathon or something like that. So it was my first trail race and my first double marathon weekend that I had not trained for.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a costume because I wasn't planning for it. So that's the only other one that I haven't worn a costume at.
Wow.
So you wear a costume at every race, or are we just talking the big ones?
Oh, no. Every single race.
So even the 5Ks, even the 1
Oh, no.
milers.
Well,
I can think of one where you don't wear much of anything.
That's this weekend.
Oh my gosh, is it?
It is this weekend.
I love it.
Running in a birthday suit?
Yes.
Wait. Tell me more.
There
is
is
it on
a
Instagram?
race.
I don't see it.
No. There is a race that's just south of me in Ocean Isle, North Carolina. It's at a clothing optional resort. And a couple years ago, a friend was just going through some life changes and was just looking for those random things to just get out and do and experience life. And, so it was like, yeah, do you want to go run that? I'm like, yeah, sure. And he was like, oh, okay, I guess we will go. So now it's become this kind of annual thing of, just kind of, it's fun weekend.
That's awesome.
And it usually lines up with the Oktoberfest at my favorite bar in town, but it's different weekends this year. So just the race and yeah.
Now, some of these are simple. Like I'm looking at them. One, you're a banana. Another one, you're an American flag. This one here is pretty interesting. You have a bunch of, they're not sloths. I'm going to do a screen share here, but you have a bunch of, I don't know.
Oh, it's the opossums?
Yeah.
Opossums, yes.
So here, hold on. I'm going to share my screen.
I feel like I've already seen all these, but I love them. Oh, yeah. So who crocheted all of those for you? Did you do them?
No, gosh, no.
Oh, look,
luckily,
you got it right there.
I have the three babies. Yeah, so my best friend Laura had just got into the crocheting. And I'm like, this race that I do, and in fact, I just did it last weekend down in Florida, Pinellas Trail Challenge. Every year they have an animal on their t-shirt. And so it's kind of a local animal. And so last year it was an opossum. And I was like, well, you got to have the baby opossums. So I was finding these little cute little like stuffed animals, or I forgot I was on vacation, but they're like $20 for this little tiny opossum. I'm like, I need 3 or 4 of them. So I just like run before I was like, hey, any chance you could make a little baby opossum?
And you make all these costumes or have someone make them? These aren't like you go to Spirit, Halloween Spirit, and pick something out.
It is about 50-50. A lot of times, I mean, believe me, Amazon every day is calling me, is at my door. And so a lot of it comes from Amazon, things I'll put together. And a lot of times, like for the dopey situation I talked about, we bought the dopey costume. My mom, then we tore it apart, ripped it out so we could make the pattern so she could remake it with sequins. So it's a lot of Amazon. My mom makes, a lot of my costumes, but she's 83 and I can't, she can't keep up with the amount of costumes that I need. And a lot of times it's just easier for me to buy it off Amazon versus, like I've got one coming up that I'm going to dress as, what was it? Alice in Wonderland. I'm like, I can get that for $30 on Amazon. I can't trouble my mom to make this Alice in Wonderland costume. So a lot of it is homemade.
You guys are a great team, though. The stuff that you guys turn out is absolutely incredible.
So I want to know a couple things here about costumes. One, what costume took you the longest to make?
Well, since my mom is making them, I mean, that's up to, I don't know what's taken her the longest. Probably the birthday cake is one of the ones I'm most famous for.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, it was way back. It was like 2012. It's been a while. That was a lot of planning and design. So technically one costume took over a year to make because we were trying to make it and couldn't come up with how to make it work. And so the next year we kind of revisited for the same race. It was my space shuttle at Space Coast. So the funny story with that is that we had it mostly made and I wasn't really happy. The last thing I had to do was to get the windows and all the, the flags and the lettering on the space shuttle. So it's the night before the marathon and we're in the hotel room and, I've got my iPad up. I'm looking at pictures. I've got glue sticks. I've got glue guns. I've got all the stuff and I just can't get it to look right. And so a good friend of mine, Susan, was trying to get to sleep. She was running the race the next day. She's like, Charlotte, it's not like there's going to be a NASA scientist there, rocket scientist there that's going to criticize your costume. I'm like, I know, Susan, but that's just what a perfectionist I am. So I run the race, win the costume contest. And after the race, I always get a lot of people come up and want to take their picture with me. So I oblige. Some guy came up and said, I need to take your picture. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. He's like, so I work at NASA and I worked on the space shuttle problem. And I just got to tell you that this costume is like, Susan, come listen, this guy's telling me it's NASA approved.
See, it was all worth it.
Exactly.
That's hysterical.
Come to find out it was Alan Shepard.
Oh, really? Who knows?
What costume, then, my second question here is, what costume was the most difficult to run in?
There's been a few. I would think there was one that I had a horse head. It was a race called Farm Days. And the horse head kind of came up pretty high. And it just hurt my neck. It was kind of heavy, that weight. And it was a 24-hour race. And it's just like, it was hurting my neck.
You stayed in character the entire time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And one of my other lines is head to toe, start to finish. So, because I know at the end of a race, somebody's going to say, did you carry that the whole way? Or did you wear that the whole way? I'm like, yes, I did. And so, yeah, that kind of heavy head was just really getting on my neck and my back. And so I didn't get as many miles as I like to. So that one was kind of uncomfortable. And then there's a lot of them just because of the heat. Oh, and the dolly boobs. The dolly boobs. That was it wasn't just the Dolly silicone. So it was Dolly Parton, the old school Dolly Parton at a Yeti race. And it wasn't just the boobs themselves. It was like a silicone vest. And so it's in April in Virginia, and it was super hot. And then, of course, I had the plaid flannel shirt over top of it. I had a long dolly wig. I had a denim skirt. And I was just miserable. It was so hot. So we're having to go up this little hill, thanks to Jason, that is 2 miles up to this, the radio tower.
Wait, was this Troublesome Hollow?
Troublesome Hollow, yes.
I've heard
gosh.
things.
Yes.
I've
Believe
heard
them.
that.
They're all true. And so I get to the top and I'm starting to unbutton the flannel and just like these silicone things.
Let them fly.
Most everybody that's up there is with the race, but there's we get up there and there's like some young kid who apparently had probably snuck up there to smoke some pot or something and look over the valley. And
yep.
And he's like looking over. What the?
That's amazing. I have to commend you for your commitment to wearing these costumes, because the first time I met you at the Yeti 100 a few years ago, you had another Dolly costume on, and I just remember, I remember you had the little inflatable guitar the entire time, and I was following like a trail of little like sequin, not sequin, but like little gem things that were hanging off your dress. And I can't imagine, it was a hot day that weekend, you were like full costume. So I just... It's very impressive that you do stick to your word, and from start to finish, you were wearing it the whole time.
Yeah, and I've started to kind of be more realistic. That one race that, like I said, the horse head, I really got upset that I didn't do. And it's not like I really care if I get a certain mileage. I want to finish, of course. If it's a fixed distance, I want to finish. But after that, I'm like, and in fact, last year, I think you know the story. Last year, when I was supposed to run Yeti, or we were supposed to run Yeti, and it got canceled, the costume that I had later on, I'm like, thank goodness, because I realized that costume would have been miserable. And I actually had planned on wearing it at another Yeti race, but I'm like, I'm still now. I'm just like, and it took a lot of, it was the porta potty. And I was just like so excited to make it, and it was great, but I'm like, nah, this is going to be, I don't think I'm ever going to wear this in a race. It's going to be, I started to get more realistic about, is the goal the finish, or is the goal looking cute in a costume or having a great costume?
What
so
if you
I've
did
started
a race where you did costume changes and you could throw.
Oh yeah, I've done that. Yes,
that's fair.
Yeah. So my 50th state finish, I'm when y'all say Wicked, I'm like, I think Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't want you to spoil what I have here, but all right, you continue.
Okay. What do you want to? Is that what you're looking at? The pictures that you're looking at?
Nope. You continue. Okay. I'm going to get to my photo in a minute.
All right. So I'd a long time planned my 50 states finish was going to be at the Land of Oz Marathon in Kansas, because huge Wizard of Oz fan. Like when I was little, if you didn't call me Dorothy, I wouldn't answer.
What year did you finish, by the way? What year was it?
That was 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. And so everybody dresses up for that race, because, there's always, the medal is always, the theme of one of the characters, or there's just, a lot of characters to do. So a lot of people dress up. So I'm like, well, this is, Marathon Costume Chic. I got to be up above everybody else. So I started the race as Dorothy, but I couldn't find sepia tone gingham material. So it was just black and white. So black and white, like the start of the movie. And then I changed into the Scarecrow. Then I changed into the Tin Man. And then I was changed into, my mom made a great costume that's half good witch and half bad witch. It's, Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Then the Scarecrow, then the Tin Man, then the Lion. And then I finished as full color Dorothy. And conveniently enough, my coworker lived in that town. She had a Karen Terrier Toto dog. So her husband stayed at the 26.1 mile marker and gave me this dog to like go through the finish line with. Well, they didn't tell me the dog was 15 years old. And this poor dog was just like, and all these screaming and hollering and, all the noise. He was freaking out. And I was like, I was going to pick him up. And I'm like, I'm tired. I don't know if I can carry this dog. So I'm trying to finish because I'm so excited. And this dog's like, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. So yes, I have done costume changes in race.
Again, the commitment is incredible. That has to be the coolest thing I've heard, especially just going through basically the entire movie. And yeah, I had to ask because I ran that in 2022 and I was like, oh my God, this would have been before I knew you, but I feel like I would have noticed that if I saw you out there.
Yes.
I actually so you're a big Wizard of Oz fan. I got some trivia. It's not really trivia because I'm not going to ask you questions, but I learned the history the other day. We put the Wizard of Oz on. We had this big sleepover. And this boring guy comes on the screen and goes, welcome. And I just want to talk a little bit about the Wizard of Oz and this. And I learned so much, but I had to turn it off because it was like dragging out and the kids were already lost interest. But did you know the Wizard of Oz didn't become popular for like 20 years? It was in 1939 when they filmed it. It didn't become popular until like the 1950s when TVs became a thing in everyone's household. And I think Judy Garland already passed. And the other cool thing is they didn't want Judy Garland. Do you know who they wanted?
Shirley Temple.
Yes. And they couldn't get her because she was signed
a contract,
by like Fox or ABC. And they tried to get her and they couldn't. And then the production took forever. They had multiple people play the same roles because people got sick because of something to do on set. Oh, the Tin Man got sick.
Buddy Ebsen, who was from the Beverly Hillbillies, he was original Tin Man, and he was allergic to the aluminum powder that they used on his face.
And it ultimately killed him, right?
No.
Oh, I think it like took some years off of his life. But it
may have
forever. It was actually did what I remember was the movie did very poorly when it first came out.
Well, it came out the same year as Gone with the Wind. So that really took all, the Academy Awards that year. The Wizard of Oz did get a few Academy Awards. Judy Garland got a special award for juvenile actress or something that, was kind of a little bit different. And I think Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which they originally wanted to cut it because they said it was too slow and it took down the movie. They said they originally wanted to cut the Somewhere Over the Rainbow song. But that got best original score or sound or something like that. But yeah, it got overshadowed by Gone with the Wind. But you're right. Yeah. I mean, because everybody knows that it used to come up on like Thanksgiving weekend. And that was the only time before DVDs and CDs and all that and VHS tapes. That was the only time you could see it.
Yeah. So and now it's a huge thing. Like all the kids do it in a play. Adeline was just Toto in The Wizard of Oz last summer.
So, do you know Toto? Toto was played by a dog named Terry. Terie, Terry.
I did not know that. I didn't know any of this stuff.
I got tons of Wizard of Oz up here.
Well, I want you on my trivia team when it comes to old classic movies. That's what I do. But real quick, back to costumes. I scanned a ton. I saw a lot I liked. One of them in particular I liked when you were the sweeper. You were the Grinch. I just thought, that's funny. That's funny. Taking away someone's joy of a race if you're like, hey, you got to stay in front of me. But there is one in particular I saw that I really liked, and I wanted to point it out. I want to do a screen share. If I do good, I'll get this on the YouTube. But Marathon 141 from 361 weeks ago, you were the old man on the mountain.
Oh, yes.
What?
Which is, for those of you who are not from New Hampshire, the Old Man of the Mountain is an iconic New Hampshire symbol. It's on all our license plates. He fell down about 20 years ago. But he's on the, So the Old Man on the Mountain, and it just looks like you have one massive boob. That's disformed a little bit.
It means a lot to us New Hampshireites, though. It really does.
And they are all my costumes are themed to the race, they're themed somehow. So like to the race, especially if it's a new state, I'm going to do something to represent that state. A lot of times it's to represent, the season, like you said, the Grinch, or, do it Kiowa, do a lot of different Christmas characters. It could be my birthday. I was the birthday cake. So they're all themed in some way or another. And I struggle coming up with themes sometimes, because if I do a race and it doesn't have something obvious, if it doesn't have a mascot, if something's I'm like, I got nothing. So like I'll crowdsource on Facebook. Okay, anybody who's got an idea on this one?
Well, I think next time you come to New Hampshire, you should be the other subject that's on the New Hampshire license plate, because you have the old man on the mountain. But if you pay some money to help give to like the conservation committee or something, you get a moose on your license plate. I think you and Erica should be a moose. Get a moose
Do you
costume.
want the front or the back?
I already got one. I already got a moose costume.
But I want you two to be together in the costume.
We will.
You know what I mean?
Well,
the front half and the back half. Yeah.
We'll have to rock,
we figure out
paper,
who's
scissors for who
front,
gets
who's
what.
back later, but
Oh man. But this goes back into the things not having a theme. Some of the Yeti races that you do, like one year you were Jason Green, the race director for all these races, and that was absolutely incredible. But you have such a creative spirit that you could pull anything out and make it work.
Thank you. Yeah. I struggle sometimes, but I usually come up with something.
It's really cool. Here's the lobster. I'm just scanning. In fact, I'll throw it up one more time because it's just a whole entire grid of photos. But guys, if you're watching this,
so much fun. So much fun.
But yeah, you're lit up there for something. You're a piñata. I bet everybody was hitting
a penguin.
You.
I see a penguin.
You're a penguin. There's Dorothy. We have, you're the Scarecrow. You're the Tin Man. Oh my God. There's all the Wicked Witch. Yep. Dorothy again.
Half and half.
I saw somewhere before a lobster, USA there. What's that? A pilgrim? A farmer?
I can't see.
It's small on your phone. That's right. But
yeah.
There's so many cool.
Fred G-leg.
Is that? Yeah, you're the leg.
Must be Italian.
You're the leg from A Christmas Story.
And like 2 weeks before that, I was the box, the fragile box.
And here's the
there's the space shuttle. Yes, the NASA approved space shuttle. Yes.
Yep. So many cool things. Of Vegas. What do you call that? Roulette or something?
The roulette wheel. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you had an awesome one for when you did jackpot.
Here's
that
was awesome.
You did.
There's the moose.
It looks so good. We're just doing a speed round here.
Does that say Missoula?
Missoula, yes.
I need to pick your brain. There's so many states that I still need, and I know you've probably done like a vast majority of them. So
we got a turkey.
I've got to see which
that's
ones are
not
the best.
even at a turkey trot. That's in January. What?
No, it was in November. It was
okay. It does. You posted it in January. I see. I see. Yeah.
Went back to like when I created the Marathon Costume Chic Instagram, I had to go back and get caught up on all my races.
What's the typical reception you get?
It's funny because like at ultras, it's a smaller group. Most people kind of know who I am. And here's a bad thing is that if I'm at a race and people are there at the start line, they see costume and like, oh, hey, Charlotte. And if it weren't for the costume, you probably wouldn't know who I was. But they see the costume like, oh, that's Charlotte. So they say, hey. And I'm like, hey, you, how's it going?
Here you are.
There's the piano.
We talked about that earlier. I hope you have a photo where he looked at you and smiled too at the camera. But if you
I think so, yeah. I think so, yes.
This is super cool. I love that you do it for everything. You're not just like on occasion I'll dress up. And we have someone up here named Yuki who does it quite a bit too.
No, Yuki. Oh my gosh. I was hoping we would definitely get to talk about her. She's amazing.
Let's talk about her. After we just honor Maverick and Goose right here. Love it. And we just need to know, what are your thoughts on Top Gun?
I went to see that in the movie theater. I was in freshman in college. I went to see it. I can't tell you how many times for longest time. Tom Cruise was on my list. The list. Until he went a little wacko. So yeah, he's off the list now. But I quote that movie all the time. I know it by heart. It is one of my top 5 movies, like Wizard of Oz.
Keep going.
Then Top Gun, Twister, Sound of Music.
Twister.
Yeah,
those are mine. I love Twister.
Twister is my
Did you see the new Twisters?
Yes, I did.
I liked it.
It was pretty good.
But Top Gun's the top movie, right? It's got to be one of the best in the world. And if somebody doesn't like Top Gun, something has to be wrong with them, right, Charlotte? Wouldn't you say so?
And do you know, I was watching one time and I can't remember what channel it was on, and they cut the volleyball scene out.
What?
I was like, no, go back. I'm like, that's the best part of the movie.
Skin?
Oh my God.
I
They're
don't know
wearing
what
jeans.
it was.
They're wearing
Yeah.
jeans.
Back
So
to the
what?
Wizard
It's
of Oz.
the 80s.
Yeah, so a little trivia about the Wizard of Oz. Back to that. So Wizard of Oz is considered a national treasure, and if they play it on TV, they're not allowed to cut any scenes to make it fit in a 2-hour movie block. It has to be showed in its entirety.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
Yep.
that either.
So it's always going to be, they'll make it 2.5 hours so they can add the commercials in or whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha. Smart.
Well, you know what? If somebody out there doesn't like Top Gun, I think they're everyone's problem.
I can't talk to them.
That's
Yeah, I
because
can't talk to
every time they say something negative about Top Gun, they're unsafe. And I don't like you because you're dangerous.
them. Yeah. Again, that's one of my top 3 movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Those people who don't like Top Gun,
What's wrong with them?
I'm just going to go away now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Do you
somebody
not
I know
like
really close
Top
to
Gun,
me doesn't
Erika?
like Top Gun. I just
Do
can't
you
think
not-
of the name.
It took me forever to watch it because it was just, I think I missed the window of like the 80s movie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and I don't hate on anybody who loves it. I love that you love it. It's just, I think it's really cheesy. I can't help it.
Best.
But
I
jeans.
think I'm gonna have to take that costume to Yeti, so I'll wear it just to irritate Erika.
honestly,
Erika, oh my
I
God.
will love that because I watched Top Gun Maverick. Loved that one. That one was great. It is fun. I love
What
you
did you
guys
think
for
of
loving
Maverick?
It was good. I mean, I love the fact that they kept. I mean, you can't do one without Tom Cruise. You can't do it without him. And the fact that, oh my gosh, it still breaks my heart about Val Kilmer. And
Right.
that scene was just so emotional. And it was good. I think they did really good, because
I think they did amazing. Like,
Yeah.
so many sequels just dropped the ball. I love
Yeah.
that it was
They did it.
35 years after the fact.
Mhm.
I love the story behind Goose's son with Rooster. The only thing
Yeah, I
I
know.
would have loved to see Meg Ryan, but we didn't get to see Meg Ryan. However, my favorite part was Penny Benjamin.
I know. But
Who
here's the
would've-
thing is if you didn't know Top Gun enough,
Yeah.
you just hear her name as Penny. And everybody's like, oh, that's Penny Benjamin. He went ballistic with Penny Benjamin.
Right. Because in the first, who would have thought, like, they're not thinking 35 years ago,
Yeah.
we're going to have this person's name. We're going to mention her once or twice. And in 35 years, when we do the second movie, we'll be with, we'll find our true love with Penny Benjamin. I was just like, no way. That's Penny Benjamin? The Admiral's daughter?
All right, here's another trivia fact, not kind of Top Gun related. So Kelly McGillis used to live in Key West, and she has a restaurant. It used to be called Kelly's. I think her and her husband at the time owned it. But so it was Kelly's. She's since sold it and is not involved in it anymore. But during Fantasy Fest, which
Was she
is
gone
this
wacko
big,
a little bit too? They all go a little wacko.
I don't know. I mean, I know she doesn't look like she used to look in the movie, and so I know she's
but they have makeup and wigs. They could have done it.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been neat if I don't think they had any mention of her in the movie.
No, I don't think they did. Yeah.
So maybe they dropped the ball a little bit on that. Like, you could have just said, like, oh, she died and was heartbroken for a while and never dated, and then 20 years later he runs into Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have done that, but yeah, they didn't do. I think she went a little psycho, crazy, nutty. I think she went a little nutty too. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But anyways, love Top Gun. Love some Top. Erika's like, this is my
can't
guest.
contribute,
I
you guys.
wanted her on. Why are we talking about Top Gun and why is Eric
No,
taking
this
over?
makes me happy that we all have different things to talk about, so where we can relate to different topics. We're good.
Erika's like, negative Ghost Rider, the pattern's full.
I'm just gonna sit here
Request
and
to fly by
do-
this topic and move on.
Can we talk Yeti
All right.
yet?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that you talked Yeti on episode The Wetty Yeti.
Yeah.
This is Charlotte's episode. But all right, Charlotte, let me help get us back on the track here.
Okay.
Let's get into not Yeti, but ultra marathons.
Mm-hmm.
When did you get this crazy ultra bug? It doesn't have to be a 100-miler, but anything that was more than 26.2.
So my first ultra was the Keys, part of the Keys 100 race. It was the Keys 50 in 2015. And I had just moved down to the Florida Keys. And I moved there a month or...
That's how you found Charlie's or Kelly's.
Kelly's, yeah. I'd found that before because she hosts there used to be Kelly's Kinky Carnival on Tuesday night of Fantasy Fest. And if you didn't wear fetish attire, you couldn't get in. That's what I hear.
Nice.
Anyway, so I moved down there and the race was coming up. And I'm like, I've always wanted to run, that race. I knew I couldn't do the 100. And so I actually intentionally didn't start my job until like 2 days after the race because I wanted to be able to get out there in the heat of the day and run in the heat. And so that was my first technically ultra in 2015. And then I got that kind of went on the wayside because I was still trying to finish up the states. So once I finished up the states in 2018, that's when I kind of had that on the radar. And when I was in Charleston, I met a great group of people that were running ultras, and I'm like, oh, tell me more. So I learned about a couple races down there, Farm Days, which is outside of Savannah, Georgia, and just some other races and word of mouth. And it's mostly FOMO. It's like, oh, well, I don't know if I can run for 24 hours, but sure, I'll go and hang out. And sure enough, I got like second place female that year. And then I was lined up for a race and my friend said, somebody wants to do their first 100 at this race in Tennessee called Holston River Endurance Challenge. I'm like, August 100 miles. I'm like, no. But sure enough, sure, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So just, getting into that whole ultra scene was it was life-changing. I mean, just, as you know, Erika, it's a whole different ballgame.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at a road race and somebody falls down, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I hope that person I don't trip over that person and it slows me down for a 1/10 of a second. Versus at an ultra, it's like, oh my gosh, dear, what can I get for you? Here, let me help you. Let me clean that up for you. Would you like some Fireball to make you feel better?
Yep.
It's a whole different mentality and, just the community. And I think a lot of it has to do with a lot of ultras are, because they're so long, a lot of them have out and backs or loops that you get to spend time with people and you get to meet people. And you just can't beat that. I mean, you just cannot beat what you experience on an ultra weekend.
I agree. And we just recently got one of our road running friends to do an ultra just this past weekend, and he absolutely crushed it. So I'm hoping to see him a lot more.
Oh yeah, Beard, yeah.
He's you may have seen him. He's been on social media lately as Forrest Gump. He's got like the legit Forrest Gump beard, and so he dresses up as Forrest for most of his races. And
but
I'm like, you'll fit
real.
right in, buddy. Oh yeah, he's got the real beard. But,
oh wow.
So I'm gonna see if I can drag him to some other races, and hopefully we can all cross paths.
I think you can. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm known as the enabler. I mean, it's like I've taught so many people into doing their first ultra or their first 24-hour race, and
isn't it great?
Yeah, I just come do this race with me.
I've started to get into that too. Our friend Tara Pterodactyl, she did her first 6-hour last year when I did Hamster Wheel, and then she's going to be joining the two of us in South Carolina in January, Myrtle Beach.
Oh, yay!
I got her to sign up, and yes, you can stay at my mom's house. We'll have a big sleepover. It'll be fun.
Well, I thought I was gonna take that race easy because I thought I was gonna be doing Dark Anchor the weekend before, which is another Yeti race, but they've moved it to the weekend after that. So I guess I got to run pretty decent at Myrtle Beach. Now I got to worry about the costume. I was just gonna volunteer and hang out.
No pressure.
Now, Erika, are you gonna wear a costume too to match her?
You
to match your
we can
vibe?
talk about this. We can talk about it. Usually I go for the sparkle skirts. I don't usually go full costume, but I could be talked into a lot of things. But for that race, the Myrtle Beach 24-hour, I'm just planning. I'd like to get like 50 miles and then go home and eat pizza or something. So it's going to be not a huge race. I mean, winter training is really hard for me because I hate being cold. It shouldn't be terrible in South Carolina, but who knows? But at least that's some kind of running. Well, hopefully I can keep up my momentum until then.
So at some point in this ultra career, this ultra lifestyle you've came to live now, you find this community, the people, you talked about them earlier, and you probably pick, get a new person. I'm going to ask that whole question over.
Take two.
So throughout this whole ultra marathon journey of yours, and we can get into race 2, then 3, then 4, and eventually hit the Yetis, because it seems like Erika just wants to talk about Yeti ever since the first second. But you found your community, you found your people. These people come from all over, East Coast, West Coast, North, South. You stay in houses together with haunted basements. You pick up people at the airport. Like, how did you find these people, and what is the best part about them?
It just takes that one race. I mean, every single race, I meet somebody new, and you kind of have that in road running, especially when you're doing the 50 states. You get introduced to somebody, and then there's a network of, oh, well, I'm doing this race. Do you want to room share? Do you want to, share taxis or whatever, or, rental cars? But with the ultra running community, it's because, like I said, because a lot of times it's loops, or you see these people more, and because you're typically doing a slower pace, let's be honest, you get to chat more and you get to know more about people versus somebody, if you run into them in a marathon, you may see them at the start line, finish line, after party, but you really don't spend quality time, because at ultra marathons, you go through some shit. I mean, middle of the night, you're trying to stay awake, and things are hurting. And so one of my problems sometimes is I'll go to a race and have a somewhat mileage goal in place, but I'm like, you know what, I haven't seen so and so in a while, let me just walk a couple laps with this person. Or I've never had a chance to spend time with so and so. There's just so much knowledge and experience to be gained from so many people that you meet that it's like I will slow down just to spend time with people, not worry about my mileage or what pace I'm doing. Just to not even about racing. It's just like, how are your kids? How was the new dog? And you just get to know these people on a very personal level, and you share a lot of personal things with people. You get to know a lot of dirt on some people, and this is just the people you feel comfortable, because you're farting in front of them and you're burping in front of them, and like, hold this, I got to go pee in the woods right here. So you have little to no shame around these people, because you're just so vulnerable during the ultra that everybody's that way. And so you can talk about things that you won't talk with your mom or your sister about, or your best friend, but you can share it on the trail.
You can share it on the podcast too.
Yeah.
No names, but
You can share it
what's
on
some
the
of the best dirt you have? Like, you can just talk about Erika if you want and not say her name.
I have no dirt on her yet. Yeah, not yet.
She says yet.
Not yet. Yes.
Well, if she has any dirt, it's probably just on me. If she's going to complain or whine about something, she's going to be like, Eric makes me do this. He makes me do that. He needs me on this night and that night, and he wants to do a Peloton run on a weekday. Why can't we do it on a weekend? That's what she's probably going to tell you. But
he's the source of all of my dark thoughts, apparently.
Yeah.
He thinks he is.
What are some of your favorite, let's go with this. It doesn't have to be dirt on someone, but what are some of your favorite ultra marathon stories that maybe you've experienced or someone else you saw has experienced? You know what we love. We love everything. Spare no details. Could be good, could be bad, could be unfortunate or unique. Tell us a good one here.
I'll just fess up on myself, because of the basis of the nature of your podcast on the runs. I will tell a Code Brown story.
Yay.
On myself. So,
I'll have 'em.
Yeah, so was running Country Mile, which is like a 3-point something loop, and you camp out. And so where I was camping was a little bit further, you complete the loop. And then my tent area was a little bit further out than, and I had to go to the bathroom, and I don't want to go back to the porta potties. That's backtracking. I'm not going to do that. And I knew I couldn't make a 3-mile loop before going to the bathroom. So I'm like, I'll just, cross the street, cross the road. There's my car. And it's just the little dirt road that we're running on. So I open up, I just basically open up one door and just kind of shield myself and lean back against my car to support myself, because I'm running ultra. My legs are a little tired. I have a white car, so let's just leave it at that. It was not good.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, that was embarrassing. And the funny thing was, at that same race, they had the porta potties, and it was a 48-hour race. So halfway through the second day, the race director, Matt Hammersmith, has to go in with a shovel into the porta potties to pat stuff down so we can continue to use the porta potties.
That's gross. Back to the white car, though. Imagine if it was a Tesla with those white seats.
It was outside the car, Eric, not inside.
I know, but how do people keep those so clean?
I don't know. I don't know this kind of people.
I couldn't do it. Oh,
no.
All right. I think
that is like a runner's worst nightmare, is going into a porta potty and there being no room left. That happened at Hamster Wheel one year. I mean, Yuki's got her own stories. We haven't even talked about Yuki.
I was just thinking we got to get back to her.
We will. I wrote it down to save for the end. We'll talk about it right at the end, because I think Erica's been waiting long enough. Erica is in love with these Yetis. And
how can I not be? I met Charlotte.
You've met so many. You've met your ultra community there outside of ADU and Hamster Wheel.
I did.
This is a whole nother crew. You fly down, they pick you up, you do everything. So
we road trip now. You told me, do not fly into Tennessee. Do not. You will fly into North Carolina. We will carpool. I'm like, okay, I'm sold. So I want to know who introduced you to the Yetis, how you found them. I mean, you could have found them on your own, but how did you get into the Yeti community?
I cannot even remember. I know my first one was Snakebite 2019. And then that was 2 weeks before Yeti 100. So I'm thinking, I know. It was that same crowd that I met in Charleston that runs Farm Days. So Victor Fallon, Tim Waz, who's out of Beaufort, South Carolina. He does a lot of great races, Delirium 24 being one of them. Anyway, so I think they were the ones because, of course, you have to do the lottery to get into Yeti. So I think it was that crowd when I ran my first 100 in 2018 that I'm guessing, because usually registration opens up in January. So I'm thinking they're probably the ones that twisted my arm to convince me to put in for Yeti. So I think that's where I found Yeti, because I would have had to register in January 2019.
Right.
But yeah, once you go Yeti, you don't go back.
I agree.
Hashtag not a cult.
When did you meet Jason Green? He's the race director, right? I got the name right?
Yes. So, oh my gosh, this is a great story. So, like I said, Snakebite 2019 was my first Yeti race. So it's a 3 loops and 11 miles each to get the 50K. I'm almost done with the last loop, and I get a text alert on my phone. There's not a lot of signal. This is down at Sweetwater State Park. I think that's what it's called. Sweetwater, State Park outside of Atlanta. And I get a text message on my phone that there's a fraud alert on my credit card. I'm like, oh, crap. So then I get another text message that there's a fraud alert on my company credit card for the same amount to Target, like $2,111.
Whoa.
So then I realized there's only one way somebody would have both of those cards to try to charge shit. I'm like, somebody broke in my car. So luckily I have enough signal to get on my debit card and turn it off. And, the big thing with the Yeti race is the Jason hug. You want that Jason hug when you finish. And I like ran up, hugged him, and I was like, I gotta go. Somebody broke in my car. So
Oh, no.
it was like a kind of, I didn't get quite the experience. So then luckily, unfortunately, somebody had broken in my car. And then, so here I am in Georgia with no money, no credit cards, no access to money. And of course, Yeti people took care of me. Everybody's like, well, here, let me give you some money so you can get gas and get dinner on the way home. So they took care of me. So then 2 weeks later, I'm running Yeti 100 and Jason's there and he did a podcast, and I heard this conversation on a podcast.
He needs to do our podcast.
Oh, he would be great. So I hear him do a podcast later, and he's talking about the first time he saw me at Yeti 100. He said that he's like, I heard somebody talking about, he's like, I was at the start line and saw this girl in a fur dress. And I thought, well, this ain't going to go well. And so then later on during the race, he saw me again. So he started calling all the aid stations. Hey, did that girl in the Yeti costume, did she, she comes, oh yeah, man, she's smoking. She's doing great. And so then after the race, we're sitting around and he's like kind of laughing. He was like, oh yeah, did y'all see that girl who was, I'm like, Jason, that was me.
I love that he was checking in on you. Like, was it super hot or something? He was making sure you were still moving along.
It was quite warm. And so like in the podcast, when he's talking about it, there were also with somebody else, Phil Penty, who's a amazing runner. And he was talking about how he was struggling during the race. And all of a sudden he hears this footprints. Erika might remember this feeling. Knows these footprints just like hobbling up or coming up around you as you're going up the hill and back into Abington. And he looks around and sees this girl in a Yeti costume. And he's like, oh, shit.
I love it. Yeah, you definitely smoked by me when I was ready to like pass out on the thing, and you were just like, "You're doing great," and you just right by me. So
what was your coverage at the time?
That is something that I am known for, is being very strong at the end of the race. I'm like, I'm ready to get this shit done, and I have. It's not like I've been sandbagging it. I've been struggling the whole time, but I really, for some reason, get this burst of energy with, when I'm getting towards that finish line. One of my favorite races is the Charleston 100, which unfortunately they don't have anymore. This is going to be the first year that they're not going to have it. And at the end of the race, it ends on a track at a rec center, and you have to run one lap around the track because you get there at mile 99.75. So you have to run this 0.25 lap around, and they time it as a separate event. You have to do it, just so you finish the 100.
Yeah.
But they also time it as a separate event. And I have won it for the females all but 1 year out of, I think, 6.
Wow.
And the first 2 years, they didn't offer like female awards. And so going into the third year, I'm like, I think you need, male and female awards.
I deserve this. Hello.
Yeah. And so they came up with that. So I won it every single year except for one.
Nice work. I don't know where you find the energy, but I'm so glad you do, because I was like, if she could, I gotta just follow Charlotte. I had my poles. I'm like crawling up this hill. But hey, you went there and I followed, and we got it done.
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, that's kind of how you met Erika, but how do you make that connection after? Because you two become besties. You talk all the time. You pick her up at airports. You go on road trips together. How did that connection happen?
Yeah. So one of our Yeti friends is Pat, and he's one of those streaker mile people that has to run a mile every day. And so when we were doing Yeti 2023, he was out for his streaker mile and wanted to, go down to this house that we were staying at and just go run on the trail. And that's where he met Erika. So he was the one who technically brought Erika into the fold. And so again, we kind of bonded that weekend. So when it came around registering for the next year, we're, checking in with everybody. All right, we're going to do this again for 2024. So everybody was back in, everybody was into the house. And of course, we know what happened with Yeti 2024 was Hurricane Helene came through, race was canceled. And, I live on the coast, so I've been through a lot of hurricanes and a lot of storms. And there's things that, when you lose power and lose internet and lose cable, it's just kind of a bonding moment for everybody. So, that was, even though it was a terrible weekend for the community, it was a great.
Couldn't do it these days.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for us friends to just hang out and just sit on the porch and chat and talk stories and drink some beers and decide, okay, well, let's just get up at 3:00 in the morning and go do this other race tomorrow. So, when you've got a friend like that with Erika that is willing to say, hey, well, we're going to do this. She's like, okay, I'm on board. Let's do it.
It doesn't
Can't
take
go wrong
much to
with that.
convince me.
Let me tell you, kids these days have no clue. Like, I remember that Hurricane Bob came in. That was during the time of the perfect storm in 1992. And just like the crazy weather, but you got the wood fire pit going and you just no lights and you got candles. Like, kids couldn't survive today in that. I don't think they could.
No.
So that's how you met and that's how everything worked out. And now you two have this amazing friendship and bond and you have more races planned together, not just 100-milers, but things in Charleston and going and sleeping over at Erika's mom and dad. It's going to be like kids in high school again.
Pizza party.
We're trying to get Charlotte to come up this way. I think you had your eye on Notchview. So if you want to make that happen, let me know and I'll help you out.
I did. So that was on the
probably
calendar.
Qualify for Anchor Down. Come on, Charlotte.
I don't know when is it? What time of year is that?
That's August.
Okay, which I'm used to doing races in Florida in August, so
we can talk.
It's going to be a cool breeze. It's on the ocean side. The weather is perfect. It's not
It was
hard
great
at all.
this year.
It starts at 7 p.m., so you don't have to wake up at 2 a.m. to get there.
Yeah, so I actually had Notchview on my calendar for next year, and we take a mother-daughter trip in July, and so I'm like, okay, every other year we fly somewhere big. So 2 years ago we went to Iceland. This year we went to Norway. So in 2 more years we would have a big trip. So next year we were going to do. I was going to come do Notchview, and then we were going to go into Vermont and go to the Von Trapp Family Lodge.
Cool.
So that was kind of the plan, but just with, my mom's 83 and you never know. So this Austria, Switzerland trip to the real Von Trapp family area, I think we're going to do it next year. So that may put off Notchview for another year just because that's
come here in November and do Hamster Wheel next year.
My only thing is, so I'm a buckle whore.
You would get a buckle.
There's a 30-hour for Notchview.
Yeah, see, those 30 hours are just like, they're cutting it close for me these days. I'm getting old. My AARP and buckle ratio is getting like...
Well, if you do Hamster Wheel next year, maybe I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, if you do go to Austria, Switzerland, let's talk about that too, because I went to that area of Austria and it is the most gorgeous place I've ever seen.
Yes.
Even it tops Big Sur. So,
I cannot wait.
We have this piano player?
Probably somewhere.
I don't know. We have this picture.
Austria.
Yeah, we have this picture of my mom in the gazebo from The Sound of Music, the glass gazebo. I'm 16 going on 17. We have a picture of her when she was 31 years old. It was 1973 it's 1973 of her like jumping between the benches like in the movie. Like, we need to recreate that. We will not let mom jump between the benches. But yeah, so Notchview is definitely on my radar.
Whenever you decide, let me know.
Yes.
I hope you like deer flies. But anyways, I digress. Let's move on. We have 2 final big questions. And yes, I will still ask you about Yuki after this. But I'm going to go first.
Yes.
You, I think, know the drill. On the Runs is having this huge, epic pasta night, pasta dinner. It's going to be amazing. The crowd, the guest list is already like presidential. It's going to be great. You get to bring a +1. Anyone in the world, alive or dead, but they can't be in your family. Who are you going to take?
I thought about this and it's tough. Because especially when you rule out the family, because my family has done so much to support my running. My mom makes the costumes. My sister paints a lot of the costumes. My dad, unfortunately, is not around anymore, but he got the benefit of every Friday when I'm driving to a race, I'd call him and, oh, where are you running this weekend? I don't know, maybe Erika.
Well, I'm already going. I'm going to say,
coming.
screw it. You can take your mom.
Yeah.
You know what?
Anyways.
No, I will make one exception.
Yes.
You can take anyone alive or dead except for living family members. So I just gave you the option there. You can take your dad.
That would be good. So we actually had the plan. I'll cry at this. Of course, I cry at Hallmark commercials. So I've always wanted to do Strolling Jim because it's iconic, ultra marathon, one of the oldest in the U.S. And when I find out about a race, I'm like doing research. I'm like, okay, what's the area like? What's the mascot? What's the theme? And so I'd always heard of Strolling Jim, and I had never heard or understood the concept of where the name came from. So I started doing research. What turns out Strolling Jim was a Tennessee walking horse. My family used to go to that area every September, every Labor Day weekend, and go to the Tennessee Walking Horse National Championship. And Strolling Jim was the very first Tennessee Walking Horse National Champion. And I haven't done the math, but I think my grandfather was probably there. I don't know what year we started going. So I got so excited. So I call my dad. I'm like, Dad, this race is called Strolling Jim and it's after the horse. He's like, oh, that's great. He's like, I'll find my riding crop. I'll find my hat. I've got because with Tennessee walking horses, they were, it's the 3-piece business suit that they wear. Well, so I come with this elaborate costume that I'm making, and I reserved this place for me and my dad to stay at. It's at a horse barn, a farm that they turned the barns into little rooms. Well, that was 2020, so it got canceled.
Oh.
So we didn't get to go. So 2021, my niece was graduating college, and she was getting her BSN in nursing. And my dad used to be the president of that college, so he was presenting her degree that weekend. And then the next year, his health wasn't as great. Anyway, so we were planning on doing it. I was planning on going in 2023. I think I've got the years right. Well, he passed away at the end of 2022. So my sister and I got to go instead. Took my sister, and we took some of his ashes. And someone's supposed to say that, share that. But so we memorialized him that weekend at the Tennessee Walking Horse National Championship. So I think it would just be, I want him to experience. He's come to some races of mine. He just he magically showed up for my 100th marathon. I didn't know he was coming. So I think it would be neat for him to see this ultra world that I've.
He would be so proud.
Yeah.
All right,
Charlotte.
He's in. He's in.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's my question. I make up the rules, and I can change the rules.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now it is anyone alive or dead except living family members.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's
Half the time we're going to let the living family members come too.
Or maybe I'll just bring my alpaca. Alpaca will be like.
Should I pack mine? Are we bringing these to the
You
race?
have to bring your alpaca.
Okay. All right. Mucho's going to come. So, all right. So, Charlotte, we have our very own Spotify playlist, and we like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So, what are you going to add? What banger are you putting on this thing?
I tell you what, I've added several songs from what you've from your playlist. So, I've got like 3 to 4 power songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these are the songs that I have this called, I have curated my running playlist since I started running in 2004. So I had this 20-year long, add these songs, but then they were all like hard rock, AC/DC, Metallica.
Good stuff.
Just really heavy stuff, because that's what you want, that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I kind of okay, well, now I have that. So that's called Running Rockin'. So now I have a playlist called Running Dancing, which is more dancey songs, more current songs. Then I have another one called Runnin' Racin'. the Mortal Kombat soundtrack has the most powerful songs for running. And I had this playlist that I would make it for like a 5K back when I used to run 5Ks.
Mhm.
And it was like perfect tempo and like the songs that I picked in that order. So it's got to be the theme song from Mortal Kombat.
That's
And I haven't listened.
song.
I don't know if anybody's ever added that yet. But
It's an epic song. I haven't heard it in forever, but we used to play it so often in college.
Wasn't that the song that we walked to like into Shauna and Chris's wedding? We were both at our friend's wedding, and I think that was like the song where we walked in to like celebrate them, like at the reception.
I had my phone on me right now. I'd hook it up to the Bluetooth on the recorder and just play it. Like,
it's so funny you say that too, Charlotte, because I was talking to one of my friends today, and
our
her daughter
reaction, Erika, when we heard it was just both
for real. Her daughter does gymnastics, and she just told me that that's going to be her floor routine song, because she's like, do you recognize this? And it started off differently, but then it got into like that. I was like,
oh yeah, it's insane.
Best.
Insane. And that's one of my secrets at the end of a race, and that's what I do for Charleston 100. When I do that 400 meter, I like put on my the end of a race. I've got this like special. That playlist was called Running Kicking. So it's like it starts out with Mortal Kombat CD, and I've got like 4 or 5 other songs. And another one that I will add is
whoa, no.
Hey, I get to make the rules.
Another one that I'll tell you that I like, you don't have to add because you're already going to add Mortal Kombat.
Fair enough.
Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles.
Ooh, I don't know.
That
I know
just
one.
like
Erika, stop writing. I see you writing.
I want to hear this.
Yes.
I'm gonna look it up later.
It slows. It like has this really like slow 10 seconds, and then it's like da na 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 na. Oh
hey,
yes,
it's probably gonna go on my playlist, whether it goes on the runs one, but at least Mortal Kombat's gonna go on there.
Mortal Kombat definitely needs to be on that.
Amazing.
Yeah. Can't believe it's not yet. Thank you for bringing that.
How
to
is
the
it?
podcast.
I don't know. We missed out, but hey. So are we talking Yuki or what?
Yeah, I was going to say, this was a lot of fun, but we can't end without hearing this Yuki connection.
Oh my gosh. So, every time I go to a race or I talk about my running in costumes, everybody's like, oh, a lot of people dress up. I'm like, no, usually it's just me. And the first time that I heard about Yuki, which I was so surprised that I hadn't before that, was back in the other year when Ultra Sign Up did this Keep Trail Running Weird contest. So the first year it was kind of weird. They just kind of like, oh yeah, here's the contest and here are the winners. It wasn't any kind of input or voting or anything. So the next year they actually had nominations and they picked finalists for people to vote on. Well, my friend, one of my great running friends, Carrie Haskins, who is also she's from like Nashua, New Hampshire area. So I saw her post on that because, I was like, I kind of wanted to, because it was the best dressed award or whatever. And I'm not good. I'm usually good on self-promotion, but I'm not someone who was like every day, okay, I need to vote every day. So I just posted it once or something. And then I saw Carrie post. She's like, oh, I'm so torn about this. 2 of my best running friends who both dress up in costume are up for this award. I'm like, have you not told me about Yuki? And so Yuki won that year, which was so well. I mean, she is just amazing as far as her costumes. She is just, here's the thing is we have totally different styles. But I appreciate what she does because, and I think I talked to her one time.
She appreciates what you do too.
And I think I was talking about how my mom helps me. She's like, oh, my dad helps me make my costumes too. So that was the first time I'd ever heard of her. And I'm just obsessed with her, She's just amazing. And just the way she puts her costumes together. She's like so polished and graceful. And I'm this clunky Forrest Gump looking opossum wearing,
great though. You really do. You both do.
And that's the thing is, I love it because we both had 2 totally different styles, and she is just amazing. So she won the first year, which I was so happy. because there were a couple other people in the contest, that I think they came up with 5. I wanted somebody who, it wasn't just kind of a one-time deal that they wore something. I mean, she was so dedicated to, her costumes and so intricate. I mean, her hair and her makeup and the glitter and all this. And so I ended up winning the next year. And it was just perfect. So, because, and I just so admire what she does. And, every now and then somebody will send me a picture. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Yuki. I know.
That's nice.
She's the best. We've never met in person. We always talk about we need to come up with some. Maybe if I do something up there
hamster wheel.
Yes, if
we
I
will
come
make
up
it
with
happen.
something like that. Yeah,
we'll make the connection.
Yeah.
But I just love how much
Boston
fun you guys
Marathon.
are bringing to the sport. You guys are making it so much more fun, and I just love
that's the
it.
whole
And
point.
keep it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the whole point. Because like I said, people are always like, see everybody else dressed. I'm like, no, it's usually just me. And so I talked about the Wizard of Oz theme at my 56th finish. And I was kind of planning on that being my grand finale, with costumes.
Right.
But, I'd be out running a race. Well, that was a couple years ago. So I've definitely changed my mind. But I was running, I'd run a race and somebody says, well, weren't you the Maine, the lobster in Maine, or weren't you the Southern Belle in Charleston? And it's just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I can't give it up.
Why should you? As long as you are having fun with it, just keep it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was a lot of fun. I'm glad I finally got to know you. Eric has talked about
I
you
just
for
wanted
years.
to jump right in, and I sorry, I kind of
we'll
took
talk
it away
about
from
Yeti.
Yeah, she goes,
Sorry,
well, let's just start out with Yeti right now. I'm like, whoa, calm down, girl, calm down.
I just got so excited, you guys. Like, Yeti is coming up soon, and I get to see your beautiful
face
face
looking
in
forward
person.
To this year with Yeti coming up.
It's going to be one of those heart-tugging kind of situations, because most of us were there last year, and we saw, we were literally like for 2 days, like, is anybody heard from Casey? Nobody's heard from Casey. We know she's okay, but just the fact that you want to hear that somebody has had a contact with her, or Beth and her husband Mouse were in their RV in the campsite, and they kept on, the water was rising. They're sending videos. And it was just one of those, like our house, the creepy house, the creepy basement house. We just told everybody, like, hey, just come here. If you've been evacuated, just get here and let's then come up with your next move. So the owners of the house were so grateful. They came out, they lived next door, and they came over. And I think it was I can't say, really trauma bond, but we all just went through so many emotions that weekend.
Times.
Yeah. And even I left to go to breakfast that morning, and I came back, couldn't get back up because both driveways were blocked by big trees. Mm-hmm. And it was just, it's not going to be the normal Yeti weekend, because the course is the Creeper Trail is not going to be the same for many years. But just the fact that we could all bounce back and come back, and the Yeti family has always, anything that's happened in that area or in just any situation, to Yeti members come together like you would not believe. Just, I forgot how many, was it $30,000 or something?
I think 40 actually.
Yeah.
That's what Jason was saying.
Yeah. Raised just for that community. And Jason was very adamant about making sure it got to the right resources that needed it, not just, he made sure, he even donated all the food from the race that weekend to the local, community. So it's going to be a tough weekend, just knowing that, it's not the same Yeti that it's always been. But then, we've had course corrections several years, when 2020, when, was COVID, and they had to do some changes, and then there was bad weather, and then the next year was a hurricane. And so a lot of things happen. So, it's not the course that we are in love with. It's just being there. And so, it's going to be, things have changed since we've been up there last year. We saw that at Dam Yeti in June. The house that my friends Tori and Ken usually rent, it's gone. Totally gone.
Wow.
And yeah, so It's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think just the fact that we're there with our Yeti family, hashtag not a cult, we're good. That's all we want to be is, we don't care if we run or where we run or how far we run. Just being together is what's great about those weekends.
You said it.
Awesome.
Yeti family. That's what we are.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear about it. You're going to have epic weather this year. Going to have a great time, and you're both going to get that hug. So have
the Jason
fun.
hug, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have fun. I'm jealous of the sleepover you're going to have at Erika's parents' house. But I'm glad we finally got to do this and we got to finally meet. This was a lot of fun, Charlotte. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, so nice to meet you, Eric.
And I'm so happy to see you in a couple of weeks, Charlotte. We're
I know, I'm excited. We're going to have a blast.
Us and Moonshot and all of our other alpacas.
White top.
That's awesome. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed that. Nothing like a sweet Southern girl with that Southern charm. Charlotte Corriher on the On the Runs podcast. That was wicked awesome.
Yay, Charlotte. Oh my gosh. I have been waiting for this for so long. You know this. But by this point, I should know what your costume is for Yeti on Friday. But either way, you are amazing. Thank you for bringing me into the Yeti family. I really feel the love, and I hope you feel it right back because I think you're amazing. And just thank you for introducing me to all of the other Yetis that I met as well. And yeah, here's to many more races.
Yeah, that was awesome, Charlotte. Have fun at Yeti with Erika. Don't kill her. She has to run Chicago in a little bit.
She'll beat me.
You get amazing weather, so much better than last year's hurricane. So
I
crossed,
hope
that's looking good. Are you in the creepy house right now?
I would, as of right now, yes, with the basement. I don't just pray for me that I'm not locked in there somehow. I don't want to go in the basement. No.
Hey, we need to shout out a couple brands who help us and they help support our fundraising and support this podcast. So we need to shout out My Race Tats and Right Socks. Thank you again for bringing us the Tros. That was awesome. Dawn, we just did. Have you guys been listening to our little ad reads before some of these episodes? We just did our first ever giveaway. And as we're recording, because you're leaving for Yeti, we actually don't know who won yet. We are going to pull the name soon. I might have to record with Dawn and find a way to put it in here, but
do it.
So if you're listening now, you know who won, but let's talk a little bit about the giveaway. This is super cool. I guess you weren't really involved in the meetings. You didn't make those ones, but holy cow, I did not think the post was going to get that much of a reaction.
Well, you guys had such a wonderful giveaway package that is going to draw people in. You guys are giving away some awesome swag. So
the key, and I've never seen this. So if other people, I'm sure others have done it. But when I had the meeting with Dawn and Hillary, I said, here's what I want to make sure we do. And I want this to be a staple in all of our Instagram giveaways. If there's ever a giveaway where we say, tag a friend, I want that friend to win too. So
I love that.
The friend that you tag wins. Now, in this case, all the friend got was the $25 gift card, not the rest of the pack. But that's friend
still
wins something.
Yeah.
And that is something I want to do going forward for these social media giveaways that involved add or tag a friend. Because ultimately what it does is it boosts your followers. And you hope to hook them pretty quickly after. So, and they stick around. So this one, it did more than twice better than I thought it was going to do because we've never done it. And there's some things I think that people just, they'll say, oh, we would totally do that. And then, only 3 people do or whatever. But this one surprised me. And
I'm glad.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing the love and sharing this podcast and telling everyone about it because we gained quite a bit last week doing this. And you can also help if you want to leave a comment, 5-star review, join our Patreon page, follow and share and like. We don't say that enough. We really need to. You get about once a month from me. So
I kind of want to say, if you guys give us a 5-star review, I'm going to pull a Will Run For, and I'll go run 5 miles for every 5-star review we get. That will make me happy.
Up it. Why don't you up it? and run.
I'm already running a 100-miler. How much more can I do?
You could dedicate miles to somebody in a race and go, this mile is for, Lindsay, who gave us a 5-star review.
Fletch LaRue.
Yeah.
This one's for you, Fletch LaRue. I love it.
But anyways, yeah, what a cool girl Charlotte is.
Isn't she awesome?
Kind of like a Yuki with all the costumes and stuff.
They're kindred spirits.
What's really cool with her is the story about her mom and how her mom helped her make so many of those outfits. And then she did one for every state, and it's just really cool. And she has so much fun. What was it? If you're not smiling, you're not doing it right. Is that what she said? Or that's what Andy Glaze said. She had a quote like that.
If they're both saying it, it must be true.
Yeah. So that's all I got. You got your 100-miler. How you feeling?
I feel really good. So going back to the whole shoe thing, this has been an excellent week for shoes for me. I get to test out a pair of the Mount to Coast H1s, they are a hybrid shoe for road and trail. And I'm bringing them to Yeti. So I have a pair of their trail shoes, and actually I have not worn the trail shoes yet, but I get some emails from them and like, hey, we're looking for some testers for this particular shoe. And I reached out and I said, hey, I've got this race. It was Anchor Down. So this happened a little bit past Anchor Down, but I'm like, hey, that's road and trail, basically. So I would love to give these shoes a try. And I missed Anchor Down, but they still sent them anyways. And I figured this is probably the best place that I can try it. So I am taking these shoes. I did 16 miles with them over the weekend, and now they're coming with me to Yeti, and I'm going to see how long they last. I
can't wait. I want a shoe review. We've never done one.
Yeah. It's kind of cool that so we get the Sauconys first, and then I get a pair of H1s, and I get to just be one of the first to try them out. But they're super comfortable so far, and we'll just see how Yeti treats them.
Well, have fun out there.
Thank you.
And be careful, because as of today, you have 17 days into the Chicago Marathon. And after your Yeti, you have less than 2 weeks. Are you going to run for those 2 weeks in between? Like,
you know what?
What's your game plan? What's KJ have you doing? She's going to give you like another workout or something? No, you have to be going straight to Tabor.
I'm thinking I'm going to Tabor Town, and I honestly will want it. She can give me some 3-milers here and there. That's going to be fine, but just easy runs up until Chicago. And I'm going to give myself homework. I am going to try to find a place for PodFam to meet up. I'm thinking the Saturday before, because marathon day is going to be hectic. I mean, I could always try to do like a pre-race picture or something, but I'm going to try to find somewhere that we can go and just chill for a little bit. Maybe around the Bean, Cloud Gate, if you will. And I don't know. I'm going to, if anybody has any suggestions, I know there's so many of you out there who are going to Chicago. I can't even keep the list straight. So if you're heading out there and you have suggestions, hit me up, hit up Eric. He'll relay them to me because he runs the account. I still can't get in it.
DM 6-star Erika.
Yeah, just DM me. And yeah, we'll try to find something because I would love to see you guys out there. It truly is an amazing place if you haven't already been. And yeah, let's pray, manifest for some excellent weather out there.
So a couple programming notes, I guess we could call it.
Yes.
For our hardcore listeners who are listening at the end of the episode who make it this far. You won't be here next week on Tuesday for the Tros.
No, because unless you do them Monday.
You won't. And I already took care of it. Because you told me maybe Monday, but we're not doing it.
It would have to be early on Monday in order to record, because I don't get home until Sunday very, very, very late, like talking midnight.
So anyways.
Yes.
And you also have family in town. That was it.
Yep. My daddy's coming.
So I took care of it. I have a sub-in co-host for the Tros next week. And I'm not telling anyone who it is. You're going to be surprised.
Is it who you told me? I won't ruin the secret.
I don't even know who I told you.
All right. We'll discuss offline.
I'll tell you this. I'm not going to tell you.
Damn it.
I'll tell you this, though.
Yeah.
I am going to mail said person a microphone.
Mail them a microphone.
Yes, so they have a real microphone, so they can be a professional podcaster.
Okay.
For the Tros. So that's a hint. It's not Ali G. So
she's got her own. She's good. She's good.
Anyways, so we're gonna have a fun co-host next week. And then after next week is October. Every October for 3 years now, we've done our breast cancer run this month.
Yeah.
We're doing it a little different this year, guys. We are still going to have an amazing guest for breast cancer awareness month, but we're not going to have 5 episodes or 5 of them like we have the last 2 years. We are going to have a few episodes of breast cancer awareness, and then there's Chicago Marathon. We're going to have some Chicago episodes. New York shortly after. We're going to have some New York episodes, possibly the Marines Marathon as well. So early on in October, we're going to highlight Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We already recorded with her. She's so amazing. We learned so much about water polo. It's like, what?
Amazing.
It was amazing. So she is amazing. I think we're gonna replay a classic and one that we'll probably replay every year. We'll touch about that more in October, and it'll be great. But we're not doing the entire month. Last 2-3 years, we actually every Tuesday. Last year was 5 Tuesdays. In fact, the last 2 years was 5. And I did run into somebody, and I love when you guys do this to me. By the way, I love when you tell me your real opinions. And I ran into someone and it goes, "No more 777, please." And I go, I know. I'm trying
Somebody's
to
about to be disappointed.
But I love it because I want to hear what you guys think.
Yeah.
And so, tell me when we do breast cancer, like, was that the perfect mix? Was that enough? Was it not enough? Was last year way too many because we did the 5 plus the best of? Mm-hmm. Let me know. I love that. I'm not offended if somebody says, "Oh, too many 777s or too many this," or "You guys weren't that good today. Something was off." I don't mind.
It's constructive criticism.
Right.
We can take it.
Not "You guys suck," because we already know that.
That's not constructive criticism.
We know we suck.
Yeah.
And I say this at the end of the episode because I know our real listeners listen right here. So I know you'll be honest with us when those things happen. So we appreciate you for it so much. And,
absolutely.
And I wasn't offended at all about that "no more 777" because my response was, I know. I was trying to spread it out. It was hard. I felt bad. Some people waited months just because it didn't need to be 777 for like 8 weeks in a row.
True.
So it's great. But hey, good luck at Yeti. Have fun. Stay out of the basement and run 100 miles.
I will. I will run my 100 miles as long as you get your, what do you have, a 20 coming up? What do you have for long runs?
So I did my 17 miler. If you guys heard on the live show, I said I'm doing my 17 mile on Monday. I did my 17 mile on Monday. This week, she's giving me an 18. It's likely also going to happen on Monday. She knows I can't run on weekends. I think KJ was like serious when she goes, "You ever fire anyone? Like, you should fire Eric." Like, I don't run on weekends. It's fine if you give me the schedule. You don't need to change it. Just tell me what I need to do and I will make it work. Mm-hmm. Like, I might move. Like, essentially what I'm doing is she has me running. So I ran my 17 on Monday.
Yep.
Monday was supposed to be a rest day, where Tuesday was going to be a 6 miles. Wednesday was going to be a workout. I forget Thursday, Friday, but long run Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm just pushing them back one day. So Tuesday is my rest day. Yeah. Wednesday is my 6 mile. Thursday will be the workout, or it's actually Thursday for whatever. And then I'll have easy days like at home on the weekend. I can do some strength training or some Peloton.
There you go.
I'll run 18. I could even run 3 miles on a weekend. I can't do long runs on weekends. So I'll do it Monday. I'll do it Monday after I drop Adeline off at school and then go to work, and work's cool with it. Like, they know the next couple weeks, I'm going to have a few long runs that I'm doing during the workday.
Damn, your work is very lenient.
Well, we're not dealing with sperm and babies and,
Neither am I, damn
things
it.
that need to be frozen. So it's I can check emails I did work emails during my 17-mile run. I did. I stopped.
I feel like I need to do a take your podcast host to work day. Because he needs to see what I do. Because it ain't that.
I would love that. Could I do that?
I might be able to work it out, but maybe
do you guys want to
outside
see
of
it? Like, I'll make content. I'll vlog
no,
it.
you-
And by the way,
no,
sorry
you
about the
can't.
vlog. We are going to complete the vlog. We have 2 episodes recorded. One of them is like 90% done. It's just life when school started it.
Well, I will take you to work, but there can be no filming. Confidentiality laws and such. I don't make the rules, man.
It's because it's confidential. It's sperm. You don't need to know what celebrities are giving their sperm and making lots of money for it and having celebrity babies who are super, not like movie stars, but like athletes. These athletes are
Wouldn't I be making a lot more money? I just need that
make a lot
OnlyFeet
of money.
page. I need the OnlyFeet page. Do I have any
Oh, wait.
subscribers?
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about it yet? We're not? Okay. No
Whatever.
OnlyFeet.
I'll
Erica,
manifest it. I'll have.
unconfirmed Erica's OF page. Anyways, Erica, take us home.
Well, this has been off the rails. But yay, Charlotte.
The
We love
best.
you. Thank you guys for sticking around and listening to us for this long. You know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
And don't forget to stretch.
Little extra on that one.
That was way too many.